those tires pop, then it does make rotations quite a bit harder, especially as we saw on the map just before. When we do go up on the northern side of things, it's an extremely hard area to fight around, and also compounds. Well, I mean, there are not a whole lot of them, and it's actually kind of interesting to me what we saw there, the fact that Singularity is pretty much the most northern team. We do have Hippo further up north on the west side from PUBG, but other than that, I mean, Singularity, they're up there. Normally, you'd have that crew still Val team, Tora Mata, maybe even La Copraria as well, but because well, teams opted to jump elsewhere, should be plenty of room for teams that want to rotate up north.
So Valle del Mar being taken by REI. We also saw Furia taking the entirety of Pozo, El Pozo, so no one contesting them there. And Brazilian Crusaders were at Monte Nuevo. There we go. Yeah. Nearly forgot the name. I was like, Santa Monica. No, that's not it. Begins with an M. Monte Nuevo. So everyone has a nice rotation. Some of the teams are already in the circle. A lot of the teams will have a long rotation coming in, especially over here at the southern side of Valle del Mar. But the northern part of the circle, you can see where the lake is, La Cobriera, that isn't really taken at the moment. You never know. The circles could shift there, but I think a lot of these players will not be expecting the circle to shift any further north.
I think the only thing you can expect in PUBG when it comes to circles is to not expect anything because whenever you start saying, "Oh, it should go," then it always goes somewhere else. So for these guys, of course, Picado gonna be left early on. We see it here as TDC. They're gonna be making their rotation on out, and I would assume to see most of the teams do similar early rotations in just a moment. I mean, Ray, they have plenty of room on the western side here. I believe that Crusaders would probably want to go west around El Pozo as well. Plenty of room to roam up in that direction. And just, I mean, up and around Creative Fields and the whole hillside area, it's pretty easy to tell the terrain. The roads are the flatlands, and then everything that is not the road is
a
huge
hill or
hills.
mountain.
It's just valleys. Like, those roads are valleys going all over the place. You see Singularity already positioning themselves to get some of those rotation, at least shots fired. But
see, this is the thing about this circle. If you want to go center to kind of help your rotation for the next one, the Crater Fields hill, the mountain area, you can see the topography. It is absolutely horrible. Do you commit to one side of it, or do you commit to the other? It's not like, what is it, on Erangel, where it's, okay, the circle could go to Sosnofka Island. Do you commit to it right now, or do you commit to staying on the mainland? It's kind of like that, but just on a smaller scale. You don't want to get caught in the crossfire from everyone having to rotate afterwards.
I think right now you have to rotate in a way saying, how can we, first of all, get into a decent spot where we have a chance of making it to the next circle, but also, how can we keep our vehicles safe? Yeah. If you're parking your vehicle on a hillside like that, odds are that before you start moving,
can see it,
there are no wheels left on those cars, and you'll have to do the rest of the rotations on foot. Now, of course, we could go anywhere. Still, we don't know what's going to happen. El Pozo could be the attraction point. We could go back down south towards Parkwood and Picado. That'll probably be the benefit of many teams, as they have yet to make those rotations on in. But I like FK. FK, they're going all the way up north. They know that this pressure point will be in the center. They know that nobody went out early. So why not go up there and make your rotation in from the north?
Yep, so Malvinas Gaming going to be rotating through Valle del Mar. REI won't be ready for the rotation. They're still too busy looting. Of course, they have their vehicles to use to make the rotation in. BLT just ahead of Malvinas Gaming. Not going to go through... not going to go through Monte Nuevo. There we go, RDS, he hears them. He's going to catch one car at least on the cross pass, but he just tags up the vehicle. Gets a bit of a tag, 25 HP, lost from Kuzak, but it's not a knock, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, he was the only one there. They, as you said, they weren't really expecting the rotations all the way down south towards them. Probably could have made a play on it had they been earlier, but the only thing they can really take off of this is now, oh my god, we just got beat to it. This was, I mean, this was their highway to the circle, pretty much. This was their safe place on the western side, because they were the last team to jump out. But now with actually two other teams, both BLT and MEG going out early, that's going to be them forced to most likely look to go elsewhere.
Harold actually spots the crate out just before Furia do. So Furia just being a bit slow, they would have seen it. Well, maybe. There's a big building. Maybe none of them saw it. But he gets himself an AUG, level 3 armor, and a nice, lovely, cool, decorative Christmas tree.
So now he is indeed a driving bush.
He's a Wookiee.
He is. A Wookiee and a bike. That's scary
Getting
stuff.
Into it. PUBG, just across the road from, well, it's just Haino, across the road from STDC, taking the concrete compounds and the big warehouse. You can see the rest of PUBG up there on the hill. So they do have a sandwich going on STDC, but Haino's all by himself. So if he gets knocked, that is game over for him, and he's back to the main menu.
Yeah, that's the thing. You do not want to go out there, and you can see everything right now is compound play. Either you have a compound or you have a high ground position from where you can scout those compounds.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is rotation right now. Everything is trying to get into a spot where you can make that rotation on towards the next one, wherever that circle goes, and that's the math teams have to do right now. There is a tendency, I see it every now and again, where teams, as soon as they get a compound that's inside the circle, they just kind of lock down and turtle. They just say, now we have a safe place. That's good. We'll just wait until the next circle pops and figure out where we have to go. The smarter teams, on the other hand, they say we have a spot now, but as soon as we get out of those vehicles, that's when we start planning on those, like, we do like hypothesis rotations, like in our heads, saying if the circle goes here, then we do this. If the circle goes here, then we do that.
Yeah.
Because that means that whenever that circle does pop, boom, you can rotate immediately because you already came up with the plan.
See, this is the thing about Miramar, is just within 500 meters or even 100 meters, the terrain changes so much. You can see the density of all the players are going because of the circle. No one's really committing yet to La Cabrera or anywhere else. They're all going in that center, the two valleys that you have. They're just holding there because the circle could literally do anything. And as soon as it shifts, you're going to see everyone jump in their vehicles and just start going. Maybe a team might just stick behind and try and get those easy pop shots off. You can see FK Bolita get into a fight with Cabron from Space Monkeys up there in the north. So Cabron, he's like, right, it's not safe. It's not safe to go to this place because literally every other team is there.
You need to play it smart, that's for sure. In the further center, you of course we talk about all the benefits and being closer to the circle potentially and all that stuff, but also means that odds are you'll have more teams around you. So whenever you do make that rotation on out, well, I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams to watch out for when you start driving. And seems to me like Captain, he got himself he found himself an opponent. That's going to be him getting knocked, at least for now. They aren't within finishing range yet. You can see well and see he want to get into a different angle, maybe. See if he can find himself a finish off. Ooh, Nabal spotted out there. No damage done so far. Don't want to give up the position just yet.
Just holding. Pronout against PG. PG do have the ridgeline and they've got rocks. So it's either you're in a compound, you're on high ground, or you're behind rocks on Miramar. Or you try and make a fortress with vehicles, which we haven't seen much of very recently. We haven't seen that being utilized at all.
Normally you don't have the vehicles available by the time you're out in the open. So
yeah. But there we
Circle does shift north. Singularity gonna be happy with that one. Ain't gonna be complaining about that. They're gonna be sitting in the compound down by the road. So that of course is a little further down towards the lowlands. But FK, they're sitting well in it up in the hills. And whenever we go north of the road here that leads from La Copraria up towards Torre Ahumada, that is a very, very steep hill. Most would probably argue it's a mountain. And, well, I mean, that's one of those positions where you cannot crash it up with a vehicle. You cannot get up there at all. And if you're sitting up there, well, that's all good fun. You can get the big overview. But once you have to leave there, should the circle go back down south, then you're going to be in all worlds of trouble. So our team's going to commit up there, or are they going to rotate elsewhere? That's what I have to
thing is, wait, almost circle high power. He finds the entirety of Boss, but he gets taken down after getting a knock onto Vinny FPS. Oh, unfortunate for him. He couldn't just get the whole spray down. Everyone in that car, it would have been nice and easy. But it's like a clown car, really. You know, the Murado, everyone's in it, and then suddenly, bam, a whole team.
Yeah, we talked about PUBG just before. PUBG, wow, cannot even talk anymore. PUBG just before, I mean, they were split extremely thin, and it made sense in the beginning, but because everyone was allowed to sit in between them, it made that rotation really hard, and they lost a player. Now Noran trying to take down some people on rotations, multiple rotations coming in from Fury. Look at the flips being done by Flux. What is going on? This is not Tony Hawk. What is going on here?
There we go. There's one more player from Fury having to come in. It's RDNX, and he's actually going to get off his... Oh, no, it's Malvinas. He's going to get off his bike. He's going to take a fight. Ali actually falls to Hagen, he's literally got out of their car. Look at this Furia. They saw the rotation. They're trying to kill them on rotation. They get out, and they get to a safe place, and they take the fight on. And they get 1 point from it. One person down from Malvinas Gaming.
We talk about it time and time again, how sure it's all good fun. Why not? You got to keep rotating, right? It's all good to start shooting, all good to get these rotation kills, but if you're not in a position from where you can get cover once they do, if they do start shooting back, well, as you saw right there, that's most likely going to be them dead. Now, they did all survive that first fight, but as you can see here, Black Dragons, they've positioned themselves north of the Copraria, trying to hold off potential rotation, so that's actually going to force all of Fury inside the city.
Burke, however, the last one of Black Dragons coming in, he's going to be flying straight into the entirety of Furia. REI taking on Brazilian Crusaders over there on the other side of the hill. A lot of hill warfare coming out very early on. Not to forget to mention Mechanicas. They actually went the other way round for the rotation, and look at them. They've got themselves a nice little place. Not contested at all, and they've got the entirety. You can literally just slice a line down this circle, right, in half. They've got the entirety of the north, eastern side and north side of the circle to themselves. And one thing I want to know is if this circle goes north, there's going to be a lake finish, and that will be fun to watch.
That is something that rarely ever happens. But of course, we never know. We never know. PUBG has given us crazy things before, so why not toss one in here when it's all about Miramar today? Lauren spots the guys rotating from afar. And we've got to keep in mind, they've been shot at a couple of times already, so those vehicles might not be at full durability any longer. Circle, though, you wanted it to go north. Indeed, it did go the complete opposite way. Down south we go. And as you can see here, most compounds are already taken. And for teams like Mechanic and all these guys up in the northwest here, how do they rotate through? Because now, as you said earlier, Talha, this whole crater area becomes a factor because that blocks off a lot of the rotations.
Yeah, crater area, there's about 3 entrances, and I mean, that you can use with vehicles, nice gateways. But you don't really want to get caught out, and teams do camp them. It's easy gatekeeping, but right now, ProNet, they're taking a fight against PG. Logan does fall. It's going to be Captain Boobloo who takes down DT Zor and finishes him off. But Youngkush, he gets tagged, just moving from cover to cover. Not great for him. And it's actually going to be FG that get the knock on him, and then Captain Boobloo just comes in. Look at that, just from afar. Danny, you've got the entirety of FG just shooting down and raining hellfire. Third party, City right there, but PG, they get out alive. Logan gets rezzed. And now they can continue with their, well, just holding. They're not going to rotate out of this right now. And the circle shifts downwards. So there's over-rotate coming in by Black Dragons and Mechanicas. In fact, Mechanicas already have 3 players in the circle on the edge. Lauren Sid, excuse me, that's not how you rotate.
No, that's unfortunate. But of course, it was a big mountain, and he fell down into the crater of death. Somehow, sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Unfortunate for him, but as we said before, as we saw before, third parties, and then some more third parties, especially in this area of the map. Once you're out there in the open, if you're taking that fight, you gotta get done with it quickly because odds are other teams will be looking your way.
Brazilian Crusaders. They're pushing up onto STDC Swag and FLG as well. They've got themselves the concrete compound. Oh, no, they're not pushing. They actually have a little compound just across from them. But it's FK that are fighting STDC, as you can see. And Swag, he's got himself enough meds, enough bandages. Might be running out of utility. This is the thing. You want to take these long-range fights, you might get the knock, but you're not going to be able to finish the person off. All you're doing is just damage, wasting ammo, and also ruining health and armor.
I would say it's always worth it to take those shots for 2 reasons. A, as you said right there, you want to take those helmets and vests off of them so that if you have to engage to fight with them later, you will have the upper hand. Also, we talk about these knocks. If you're knocked for the 3rd time, that's going to be you bleeding out a lot faster. So once it does come to that close quarter fight, they will have to commit a player really quickly to get the rest on up if they want to have a chance of getting him up. Now we see Singularity. They've got themselves a compound here, sitting pretty well in it, at least for now. But only 3 players. Only 3 players on this plane for them.
Space Monkey's getting to a fight with Furia just up there in the north. Zonny, he gets taken down, and Hagen, he's going to be making a push. He's going to be going so aggressive. Look at this. He wants to find Mike's. Jumping over, having a look inside. Just misses Mike's. Actually goes around the corner. Hip fires. Gets Mike's down and finishes him off straight away. No rezzing for him at all. At all. Okay, Bron. He's going to skip. He actually survives.
What?
But he gets taken down.
That was the most classy 360 I've ever seen done on a vehicle. That was
Straight
very stylish.
Tire,
very stylish.
Stylish death. Points. Kudos.
Yeah, gotta give him a little bit of credit for that one. Now circled that pup once more. It descended up a little bit, so Singularity, they're still gonna be in it. So are the majority of these other teams. They only have really a big condensation of teams up north. And the thing for them is that, I mean, you can see FK with their position. Everything south of FK and all the way down to Puck B is flat and open. And all these teams will eventually have to make that run, and it's going to be extremely difficult.
Well, if the circle centers anymore, it's just going to force all these teams to come up on top of this hill. Yeah, on this open hill with absolutely no sort of hard cover there. Boss fighting REI. We can also see a big grenade and a molly going out. Brazilian Crusaders just trapped to a couple of buildings. Not a great place to be in. You've got the entirety of STDC just in opposite compounds just in front of you. So they're stopping. They're literally gatekeeping from 2 angles. Black Dragons having a hard time as they run into Singularity. 2 knocks already by Singularity, and a nade that kills all of them. Team Singularity annihilates Black Dragons, and that's Rebo taking 3 people down. Now it's his turn today to show what Singularity is made of.
You gotta step up when the heavy hitters are not there. But of course, as we said before, could just be a one-man thing, one-time thing. Of course, these guys are all very talented players. And now, fortunately, we're seeing Crusaders starting to get in on the action here, getting themselves a few kills to start things off. They've been playing it rather safe from this position, haven't been forced to take any fights early, and now they got themselves 2 kills without any players taken down. Still, of course, 12 teams left remaining, so nothing is guaranteed as of yet. And this next circle shift, Talha, this next circle shift could determine quite a few things as to who gets to stay alive and who doesn't.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Brazilian Crusaders still have their vehicles. They did arrive in their vehicles. We saw a few people rocking up, but they are going to need it if it shifts.
2 of them were blown up, I know.
Yeah, so if it shifts center, they've got a lot of flat land to go up against. BLT just go straight through this valley actually, and BRC, they're on. They've just made the firing squad and they're going to be shooting it. Then BLT stops in the middle, and we can see 1 knock already. Susan, he gets taken down. Harold as well. He has to make the push onto STDC as they're holding this concrete compound. There's only 2 of them left. Only 2 of them. Harold actually makes it in, but he's knocked. Where's the rest of your team? Oh, Raspu gets a knock on Swag with a grenade.
Yep, this is just compound fight and compound fight and compound fighting. See, Crusaders, they knew,
oh my God.
They knew that they were occupied elsewhere, and they're really getting the damage in they want to. The thing for Crusaders is they will have to make that run should that next circle not shift on towards them once more. So clearing out this compound, doing a lot of damage in this direction is only going to help them later on.
If they had enough smokes there, they can actually use the smokes to make a line to be able to run across and try and get that compound for themselves. They've got FK shooting at them.
Exactly.
You can see Mechanicas also getting into a fight just on the hill there. They've got a little car fortress going on, so, you know, if there isn't any hard cover, make it with what you have. And, you know, it's all about improvising and adapting to the situation. Panda, we saw him getting a few knocks earlier with the M24. Let's see if we can make it a couple more. Some insane shots, especially Miramar. These insane headshots coming out.
You can see Reeboks, he's found all the guys, but he's also found himself kind of pinned inside this
7 nades.
Yeah, but he's not within range to throw them at anyone, unless he wanted to nade himself. So hold on to them for a little while longer. But as you can see here, once he's out here, he's completely exposed to teams up north. Circle hard shifts south. This is interesting. And if you're prone to tag him, then you're pretty satisfied with this circle shift. You're going to be sitting down there and doing absolutely nothing. But you talked about it. Talha saying if this one goes up to the hills, what's going to happen? Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams that aren't in on the northern side. 8 out of 12 teams will have to make this push up the hill.
Yeah.
And oh my lord, it's not going to be easy.
And you really do not want to make the push up the hill. You can see Ragnar, the last one left for BLT. He's in the circle. He's got himself a little shack, so he's just going to sit in there. I don't think that's quite in the circle, just on the edge. Singularity are going to get into a fight with Mechanicas very soon.
Yeah.
FLG gets knocked by Raspu as Brazilian Crusaders start making a move to the next compound they know. FK finally get on their vehicles, so Brazilian Crusaders can make this move in. Swag holds the angle, gets a couple of tags up. It's not a knock. Another player comes around the corner, and it's going to be Rusty Zero who finishes him off. And there we go. STDC. They do fall, but FK, they're getting taken down on their rotation.
A lot of fights happening at the same time. I've got to give kudos also to Mechanicas for their push, trying to contain the guys in Singularity in the compound up north. They know they're the first place team, and they want to get them down and out. So smart rotations coming in from them already. But now PUBG spotting off Furia. This is going to be a death rotation if I've seen one. These guys have a hard rotation on their hands, but somehow they're still alive.
So now Pronet, the people that you thought that were safe are getting knocked by PG. They want to take the fight for that south part of the circle. Singularity, they're coming out with the nades. Letty's been knocked. The nades are coming back from Mechanicas. Panda finishes, actually knocks Pamps down. And that's 2 knocks already for Singularity as they're going to go continue the push against Mechanicas. And they've cleared up the area. Ribbo, he gets knocked.
Third party town. That's where we're at, and that's what's going on right here. Panda now all by himself. Even gets himself a double finish offs there. It's going to be 1 finish off for FG as well. Now this push in the open.
Look at that.
Practically impossible.
You're sitting behind your computer. There are 10 teams left alive. All you can see is 28 alive, and you're like, I have to run through that.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy at all. And for Crusaders, in a similar situation, they have a chance of pushing at the compound here, but they do realize as well, I mean, the compound is inside the circle, so we have to just somehow survive here for a little while longer and wait for them to leave.
Surviving is not part of Psychopath's nature as he gets knocked by FK. They're coming up behind. Neither is it Raspu as he gets knocked by Hino. So they need to really commit to a push here. Otherwise, you've got FK who is just picking people one by one on the backside of Brazilian Crusaders.
Oh, I mean, every single kill you can get, you'll get it happily. Crusaders take one more casualty. And we got to keep in mind that despite how many things these guys have been through so far,
Look,
we have yet to make it into placement points.
it's all edge play. It is all edge. No one wants to go up on the hill.
Yeah.
In all honesty, if you're up in that middle bit, you're probably safe because no one's going to be looking there.
The thing is that you might be safe, but you're completely exposed on all sides, and it's really hard to play a center spot if you don't have 4 guys alive, because you need people to hold every single angle. Circle, hard shift south, FG, you can stay inside the compound for a little while longer. Everyone else will have to make that run into the open. Crusaders, they're gone down. They got themselves a few kills earlier. I believe they ended up with 5 or 6 kills, so that's something, but no placement points coming their way.
Yep, still out of the placement points. You have to come 8th to get 1 placement point and 7th to get another one as well. Furia, they're going to be gatekeeping PUBG. They're reduced from their big, amazing compound down to just one little wooden shack. Boss just behind Furia as well, so they're going to be gatekeeping them as they come in. FK, they still have vehicles. Oh my god, XS! He actually snipes Panda, but who is that? Handy Who gets shot at by Duh. An insane shot with the SLR. A headshot, nice and easy.
Let's see, Furia here, they're on the edge. You know they have a team they can wait for a little while. This is all about playing the terrain wisely. You got to use it to your advantage. You know there's a player behind you, but right now the focus has to be on what's going on outside the circle. They're holding it off. There's plenty of smokes thrown there. I actually kind of like
It's a
the
bait.
idea. Yeah, they're throwing all the smokes and they're running the other direction. Flux, though, he's going to hear these steps. It's Elephants coming his way. Can he land the shots needed, though?
Oh, hey, no, falls first. Flux goes for the flush, but unfortunately for PUBG, they all just line up. Furia. One guy gets knocked, but it's okay. Flux is going to get him up, and they're going to be 2-man strong going in. 7 kills between these 2 players, Tobi.
Great execution by the 2 players here. They held off a 3-man strong team. You saw him going for the flush there to begin with, but he quickly realized more players are coming. We don't have time for this. And Boss now as well, they're making their run on up here. Good chance to make a good play from the western side of the circle. They have this entire flank to themselves, at least for now, depending on what Prone Tagum is going to do. And then you have Furious sitting in the center compound here. Gotta give it to Mechanica though. We talk about them. They're not aggressive. They're not going full aggro all the time, but they make their way into late game, and they've done it again.
Ronnie sacrificed himself to the blue, knowing there's no way he can make it across that open little field with the likes of Mechanicas and FG right in front of him. Pronet, they've opted to use the ridge line as a good playing spot, and it is a very good one. They're not being surrounded by another team, and they can use that kind of push up against FG, but it's about taking that compound if the circle does shift towards it. It is FG's game right now. Let's see what the circle does. Oh, you don't want to be standing still like that. You're going to get shot, but somehow, he's behind a tree, and so is Flux. Some good shots coming out by Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny can just wait for this one. They know that they're completely cold by the blue is hitting them as we speak, but shots are indeed coming in return. Great ones fired by Furia. Down they go, though not a whole lot more to it. Unfortunately, 5th place for them, but as you said, just 2 players in between, and they did manage to get a lot of kills. And look at this for Boss. A little bit of a gifted crate to finish off the game here. 4 teams still alive, shared between 11 players, and I think this might be the death sentence for Mechanica. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, look at this. Boss Esports, they had to rotate everywhere, and they've got 7 kills. They're leading by 3 kills on the kill tracker. There's an AWM. It's pretty good to take right now. You've got the likes of FG, and they're in that compound. If you can get a knock, like that thing will just help you out so much. Yeah. 1 shot, knock, easy. You can start making the push. But it's about this next circle. FG still can stay in that compound just a little bit longer. Phase 8, will they get pushed out, or will it just continue to close onto them? Pronet, 2 players up. They're just going to use the ridge line. They're going for placement points at this stage.
I mean, there's no reason for them not to, Boss. One of their big benefits, not only do they have a lot of space to move around on, but also they got themselves 2 sets of level 3 gear. That's really, really going to come in handy when it comes to these close quarter fights. It can be the difference maker as to whether you stay alive with 1 HP or you get taken down by a guy that has 1 HP left remaining. So you got 0 trying to hold the angle here, clear everything. There's still 4 guys strong, and they're pushing 3 of them out with Vinny holding the top here.
Playing it very methodically. They know that there's bound to be someone on this ridge line, and they're just clearing it out. 2s, well, they left Vinny up there to make sure no one's going to be going a long rotational flank from behind, while the 3 of them do make the push. You can see Relance, he's holding, leaning in towards the hill, trying to get as much cover as possible. It is rough, but he's got the scar at hand. I think he might have started hearing Boss approaching, and he's given the message to Necro, who's going to close up. And they're going to get ready for any aggressive push, but you don't want to lean too far out to the left. You might get spotted by Noah or God Zero. But everyone's in the circle. It's all about waiting. Let's see if that bloomin' compound is still in. What a nade time, just landing right above GOD0.
Blind too. No vision in that direction whatsoever. Floated right on the money. That one could have exploded right on it too had it been cooked for 1 second longer.
Oh, ProNet really need to be careful. As they come up this hill, FG can just see them, and they see them first over Boss, so they don't want to get third party in this fight, but they can hold Boss off. The smokes do go out. An insane nade by Znova.
If you're FG here, you gotta utilize this to leave the compound. You cannot let Boss pin you in here. You know that knocks have come in on both teams, and you can see they're leaving now. I like the push out from Furious Gaming.
Oh, they're going to be taking on ProNet straight away. In fact, Necro has no time to get the res off. He has to let his teammate die. He has to just... Well, he's going to have to lie down and hold the angle as they come over the hill. There we go. Necro, he gets one, but he does get... Oh, Relance gets taken down, but it's going to be Chikritin who gets Necro as well. So now Furious Gaming, they can get all 4 up, but FLK... he gets knocked by Vinny. He's got the AWM. That's just what you need. And now Boss needs to utilize on this. They can push up and close the gap on the circle and gatekeep.
They just got the circle towards them. There's no real reason for them to push anywhere. They know exactly where their opponents are coming in from. So just hold the angle, wait for them. They need to run forward. You have the edge of the circle. These nades, they could become deadly, but of course they are hard to place when it's on the edge of a mountain like that. It does hit it though. Got 0 somehow from miles out. Now he gets more knocks coming in.
And like that, FG, they're reduced to 1 player, Danny. He's throwing a nade back, but Boss, it only does a half 50 HP, but it takes down Znova. So this could be everything or nothing. Danny, he's going to go for the flush, throw another nade, see what he can do. It's just going to bounce off the terrain, and you can see Boss, Znova, he knows he's not going to get rest, so he's going to push down. He's trying to get the information passed from the team. 2 players are not from Boss. It's 1 versus 2. Danny, he's got the hillside. He's got Pika's advantage on this. The nades are coming out, it lands close, but the hill makes it roll down further. And Danny, he's trying to get the points. The extra points is all he needs. And now, he gets the 1 point extra, but he can hold the ridge off Vinny, holding a nade. He knows there's a 1 versus 2, just needs to hold it. Vinny peeks up over, but it's going to be GOD0 coming in from the side, and they take down. And Boss, with 12 kills, take game number 1 on day 2. That is the first game of Miramar.
Impressive end to the match right there. I mean, gotta give it to Furious. They played it really well until they knew when to leave the compound, but they were not able to take down Boss. They had been fighting for quite a long time, and well, I mean, they hit their shots when they had to. 12 kills coming in for them is a great way to start the day.
I mean, for Boss, they were rotating, and every single time they have to get into fight. FG, like I said, the points do matter, the kill points do matter, but if you've got center compound and you keep getting your circle, then you're less likely going to get those kill points. Either people are going to crash you or they're just going to stay away. Whereas if you're forced to rotate, you're going to go into pass and you're going to be forced to fight, and that's exactly what we see from Boss. And they were just better at those rotations and better at fighting than everyone else. But FG managed to get a couple of points on the board right at the end.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they got a lot of kills. And was a good game for them overall. I believe they sat at 4 kills in the end of things. So 4 kills in a second place. That's a solid 10-kill game, or 10-point game. Ain't nobody gonna be complaining about that. Some of the other teams that went out earlier as well, really good performances. Furia, 8 kills in between them. We saw Singularity, despite connecting with only 3 players, managed to get themselves 6 kills. So good performances coming in across the board. And yeah, excited to see what they can bring in the next game.
Yeah, let's see. Unfortunately, Mechanicus and Singularity. Singularity fell just in 9th place, I think. I didn't quite see the leaderboard, but they made it to the top 10. Mechanicus, top 5 at least. So our top 2 teams not able to get their lead any bigger. But nonetheless, it's good for teams like Boss and FG coming in. They need to make up those points. Only the top 2 spots do go to the GLL Grand Slam, and that is what all these teams are fighting for. Of course, they're fighting for the prize pool as well. But I think it's more important if you can make it to the GLL Grand Slam and prove yourself on a more international stage.
I mean, if you're gonna go to Grand Slam, you're also gonna win the tournament or get 2nd place, right? That's kind of the make. So you need to get these games. You need to get a whole lot of points in them. Because we talked about Singularity, even with just 3 guys in, having 6 points in a game like this, I mean, that's a really good performance. Sure, they got that circle shifted up north towards them early on, but they pushed out late. They had to make the rotation, didn't work their way, but they still go away with 6 kills as just a 3-man team. That's a hard team to beat.
It really shows you how good each individual player is. Okay, we didn't have Poma in the game, a huge player from the first game that we saw yesterday. Panda was in there, but he wasn't as influential in that game as Robo was. Robo was just doing insane works. So that means that this whole team is built up with really good individual, mechanically trained players. I mean, and that's just what you need.
There's a reason that when you're a Danish organization, you reach all the way out to South America in order to pick up a team, and that's got to show that They've clearly been in the spotlight on the global scale, so big kudos to them. It's always hard when you're trying to play competitive and you have your 4-man stack and you're saying, oh, wonder if anyone's going to pick us up ever. And then you have the Sorks come in and say, you know what, these guys are mine. And
Take
well,
us.
they're living up to the expectations, I'm sure, right now.
Of course, now that was game number 1. It's finished. And next game, we're going to be still sticking on Mirror Mob, but don't go anywhere. He'll be back after this break.
Se tem fé é a chance, ela é infinita. Irrita quem só reclama e põe defeito. Todo errado se julga o ser humano perfeito. Mas perfeito ninguém é, nem nunca vai ser. Sem dar um migué, faz acontecer. Fazer por merecer é difícil quem faz. É mais fácil falar do que correr atrás. Se é capaz, mostra pra si mesmo primeiro. Depois conquista o mundo, mais nobre guerreiro. Você faz, esse é o conceito de quem assume a responsa e bate no peito, não basta ter fé, se não se movimenta, nem o teto se mantém sem o pilar que o sustenta. Tenta, até conseguir, se a fé não remove a montanha, ela te ajuda a subir, progredir, a cada passo dado, evoluir, resistir, o peso do fardo, o obrigado atrai tanta coisa pra agradecer, a vida dá um pensamento pra vencer, enquanto só reclama, só chama mais problema, deixa o mal fluido solto e o bom cheio de algema.
Welcome back, everyone, to the GLL Latin American Masters. I'm Tobi, joined by Talha, and we just witnessed Boss get themselves a win here in game number 1 of the day. A game that we talked about really early on being one of those potentially that says, guys, you're going to be in the open for the rest of this one. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is we saw the circle being really, really rough to a lot of the teams. It was in between Crater Fields and the other valleys, and everyone was just clumped up, not knowing whether it's going to go north. Some teams over-rotated, and a lot of the teams were forced to just play around this massive hill. No one wanted to go on top of it.
And you can see some of these teams that did manage to rack up kills were indeed the teams that had compounds to play around for a while at least. Boss with 12, 8 kills coming from Furia. All of those kills split between just 2 players. FK, they got themselves a good position in that game, and they got themselves 8 kills with it too. Furious, just 3, but the second place coming in for them. That's going to be a solid 9 points for them overall. Mechanica, again, we talk about them. Even though they don't go heavy on kills, they always seem to find a way to get within placement points.
Yeah, but of course, 9th place, Brazilian Crusaders, no placement points, 4 kills, only 4 points there. But let's see what that's done to the total score. As after, well, the total score of the games yesterday plus today now. The Singularity still up there at the top. They have 70 points. Mechanica, 55. So they're increasing their gap between 3rd place, but FK Team of Furious Gaming and Bitloft, they're not that far behind from each other.
No, it's gonna be interesting to see how things are gonna unfold. But what is, to me at least, the standout thing here? Because normally we would say, oh, it's all so close and the top is in the top, sure, but that's all good fun. But everything is tied up. Because it's just top 2 that goes through, for every other team to see that right now Mechanica and Singularity, they're starting to push themselves away from everyone, right? There's a 9-point gap right now. We don't know what it's going to look like after today's games, of course. But for Mechanica, they have seemed to find, like, they've found their way into the late game in pretty much all games so far. Singularity, just 3 guys on the server, they get 6 kills. I mean, how are these guys going to be stoppable for anyone else?
It is worrying to see if you're just there. If you're just in 3rd place, you're like, okay, Mechanica are only about 10 points ahead. But above that, you've got 30 points to catch up to Singularity. And honestly, Mechanica, if they have one of those insane games again, they can increase their gap and catch up to Singularity. Then you just got a 2-horse race. And you can decide who's going already to GLL after that. But of course, speaking of which, in the last game, Mechanica, they were having a really rough time getting to phase number 6. And yet yet they still made it into the top 5.
Mechanica made, as we've seen so many times up until this point, some really, really smart decisions when it came down to their rotations. They had a really hot break coming in, trying to hold off Singularity, but they knew if you don't do it now, if you don't set up this perimeter in a 2-2 split that could cost us 2 players, we're going to lose out on it. And they did. The 2 players went down, sure, but that meant that the remaining players could make their way into the final circle. So important rotations coming in with the sacrifice of players, sure, but it meant that they got themselves points off of it.
Nice, easy plane going straight down the middle of Miramar, but it's going horizontally. So everyone can go to the north and the south as they wish. A lot of the place will be a bit harder to get to. You can see PG getting themselves a nice, lovely, roofless Marauder. Get into that, but they're going to be... Oh, no, he's nicking it from REI. That's his teammate there. So, REI getting out of the market for vehicles, but the rest of PG are up here looting their own little compounds.
Yeah, PG, they split it a bit in their loot. It doesn't really matter too much early on. They are somewhat on their own. Now the circle has popped, and it seems like we are going southeast according to the minimap. You can see just the edge of the circle down there. So Capitan will be on the edge, and sure we do. Los Leones is going to be in the center, and that could potentially have a huge impact on how these things unfold. Oh, of course, guys. Get down. Get down. Land somewhere. You don't want to get taken out midair. That would be the roughest of rough ways to go down. Does seem like he's dodged the bullets, and he has himself a pickup truck over there, so should be able to stay put.
Yeah, but the hunt is on. You can see Danny
15
finds himself
bullets.
a bike.
I'm gonna
15
find
bullets. Where is
is
he
he?
gone? Where is he gone? Absolutely no armor, nothing. He's just going to be spending these last 15 bullets, hopefully seeing, right, yeah, bullet drop, 762. It drops bullets. Like, the bullet drop is quite big. So, you know, eventually, that bullet's going to fly across the map and might end up hitting Sizzy. And he'll be like, what? Where did that come from? Being shot at, guys.
Not the case. But as I said before, Los Leones being somewhat center here, we saw in the last game how much these teams value that center position early on.
Yeah.
But because of this contrast to going center here, nobody wants to be in a city. That forces all these teams to not be able to play center, which means that if you are one of those late game teams or late rotating teams early on, that tend to say, oh, we'll just sit kind of where STDC is now, according to the edge of the circle at least. Then we'll be fine. But because nobody want to go center here, that's going to force them way further out. So should that next circle hard shift, well, in any direction, for the teams that are on the opposite edge, they're going to be much further away than what they would normally be.
It's about whether or not you want to be that first team into Los Leones. You don't want to be the last team in there because then it's going to be...
You just don't want to be in there.
I, as a player myself, I really wouldn't mind. I really like urban fights, but again, it's just getting in there once it's already occupied is the hardest part to do. But you can only see Space Monkeys. They've got a nice little split going on, but ProNet's not that far away, but everyone's in the circle up there in the north. It's going to be harder for PUBG and Singularity and FK all needing to come in. With all these teams on the northern edge of that circle, they're going to be driving through hell. And speaking of driving through hell right now, that's a wheel gone for Cassin. We're going to see a repeat of the last game, and he's just got the entirety of Malvinas Gaming completely around him. He's dead.
That is not going to be easy. He needs to pull off a hero play, and then a couple more of them. He does have help coming in. You see FLG is coming up the hill, and Swag is as well, but are they going to be too late to the party? I would assume. You see the flashbang thrown high up in the air, vehicles being shot, but he does get the knock coming in. Cassin uses the smoke to his advantage. It works out for now, and as you can see, Swag and FLG, they're coming up here. And for now, I mean, Aliyah has to run off of this one.
Yeah, too much time has been spent trying to get Cassin down, and unfortunately, you've lost one player. And Ali, he knows that the rest of STDC cannot be that far, and if he commits to that, Malvinas Gaming will lose 2 players instead of 1, and Einkel has to be sacrificed.
That was very, very, very impressive, to say the least. Einkel had the shot on him. He caught him on a break there. Now, finish off comes in. You can see Ali, he wants to get the finish off, but he's not aware that there's 2 players up and above. See, he's coming around the corner. He wants to get the angle. He just got to confirm from his teammate that he was indeed finished off, and he ran up the hill. So he wants to see if he can get himself a bit of vision up towards him. But seems like, yep, STDC. They live with the scare. They get the finish off, get a free point early on. And, well, I mean, they'll be out of this one rather easily.
Yep, saving Private Cassin has been accomplished, and they're just going to get him in the vehicle and head on back into the rotation. They just want to get more center circle. The next team that they looks like they're going to be going into is FG, but that's a really nice road that leads into Los Leones. A lot of little compounds on either side of the road that you can take up.
Yeah, the main thing for the guys that just lost a player here is that they had that Aliyah player far up north, and you saw Kusasks and his teammate, they're really far down south. So not going to be easy. That's the gotta love the teamwork. Gotta love the teamwork. Furious spots it out. Want to see if he can land himself a headshot off of it, but not going to happen.
I was wondering, what's going on? Oh, right, okay. The Marado's stuck on a rock.
Yeah, exactly. He
just like,
it off.
What's going on here?
Gotta help a friend out. Gotta help a friend out.
Of course, there we go. STDC. They have made their rotation. They're gonna be comfortable just on the so they're going up further onto the hill from that road. So they're gonna be taking that compound. And in fact, they're gonna go 2-2 split. Chickerton's still gonna lay down some lead over the top of the bottom two STDC players. You can see PG getting into a little fight with FK on their rotation. It is challenging, and it's a very ballsy player as well to just jump out of your vehicle on an open field to try and get rotation kills because you don't know if there's anyone else watching that area. But, I mean, you're not in the circle, so no one else should be there, realistically, and this is a rough position to be in. A lot of damage being tagged up from really far away by Junkush and the rest of his team.
And this is the issue. When we have fights escalating this early on in the game, that means that, well, when you're going to burn through a vest, you can pick up a new one. But if you're forced to stick around that compound for longer, if the circles keep coming towards you, once that team does breach you, once you do get up or end up taking that close quarter fight, you won't have that vest, you won't have a helmet, and most likely, well, you'll be burning through your meds as well.
Not the most ideal position to be in when you have to use up your meds very early on. And you don't really have time to loot compounds when it gets to the late game. You might have the time to loot a body that's right next to you, but you're not going to be running across the field like you do in pub games. It's just, I've just killed someone far away, let me go and loot his body because he's got some good stuff. No, you don't see that in comp. It's too risky and it's too dangerous to do so. You're just carrying what you have on you, and if someone dies next to you, then that's luck for you to have to pick up the scraps from wherever he had. FLKS holding the compound from Pamps, the rest of Mechanicast just following him behind. And Pamps, he's just going in. He's going for the push.
Speaking of looting, I think Pamps was like, oh, I can get some here. Oh, he just spotted it. He's like, no. Get away. I don't know how many players are around there. That was really fortunate because he had no clue whatsoever that there was a player there. And I think for FLKS as well, he didn't know there was one running in towards him. So it's a... he scares off one that he didn't even know that he did.
And at this compound, not taken at all.
No, nobody's staying there.
No one's there at all. Pamps was just like, I've never seen someone nope so fast.
You can look how far down FLKS is as well from his teammates. Had he been fighting against the Mechanicas there would have been no help coming in whatsoever.
Now, this is going to be a bit of false information coming out. So Pam's is like, oh, okay, compound up there, it's taken. There's a team in there. He's seen one person, he hasn't seen everyone else. So it's like, okay. But we can see that FG, they aren't anywhere near that compound. And they've conceded that. So they, the way Mechanicas play around this compound next should be very interesting. They're going to try and give it a wide berth if any other rotations kind of force them to go around it. But eventually they'll figure it out, be like, hang on, no one's in there. And it's a good compound to take, especially because it's a bit more on flatter land. It's elevated as well. That vehicle's got black smoke. You want to jump out of that? Try not to die. Boss not having a great start to the game on their rotation. ProNet laying down hellfire.
They lose one vehicle. Should be almost likely at least able to stay put for a while longer. But you can see the guys from Prone Tag out here in the open, applying all the damage needed towards Boss, and now they've split them off 2-2. Got Zero and his teammate up there on the northern side. Can't really find a way to go on down. And Leah's down the compound too, so got to keep in mind if they do decide to drive around, which I would assume they do, then that could potentially be Leah able to line up a freebie there. Now New Circle Pups wondering where we're headed. Hippo with an angle on towards the Black Dragon guys. That's a fight happening over towards Jumasera, and could become an early on engagement. Full on 4v4 fight here.
Yeah, and it's going to be PUBG. I think they're just going to fall out and fall back, of this fight, regroup and see what they can do. Because Black Dragons, they've got the elevation and they've got cover. All PUBG have is the hill, and the nades are coming out, and they're more prone to getting naded. That's a good nade in the right direction. It might just bounce a bit too far. No one's going to get tagged up there. But yeah, both teams do concede. They've seen the next circle, and it's going south.
Not only that, but it's completely shifting out on the edge of Los Leones too. You see how big a part of the eastern side of the circle this is. You cannot rotate through it. You got all the way around, and it's going to take your time, and that's why we see teams rotate already. There's no time to rest here. You got to get down there if you want to get a compound.
I do love this area. It's a bit more saturated with grass and trees and wood. Trees. Oh god, I'm calling trees wood. And wood. Yep. It's the farm area, right? You've got the farm components everywhere, and it's really, really beautiful to play in. But other than that, it's different types of elevation very close by. And it'll be really interesting to see exactly where the teams would like to go to. Someone in the middle there is FLG and +1, just getting absolutely tattered up by a lot of teams. You can see Malvinas. Noran He gets a knock into FLG. Oh, no. FLG actually gets knocked by jumping out the vehicle, but he's going to spray him down. That's a point there, and you can see how badly these teams want the point.
Yeah, you can see STDC, they've survived that first fight. They survived that first one, but this one might just be too much for them, because sure, he might get rest here, but where in the universe do you run afterwards? No vehicle available, 2 teams shooting over towards you, and that's MVG trying to get a little bit of revenge of what happened earlier.
Brazilian Crusade as well, a bit further away, but still bullets landing very close just by the feet of STDC, and they should have enough smokes to be able to get into a better compound. But look at that, just raining hellfire through those smokes. It is hard and terrible for you to be a part of, but now you don't have any more smokes to use, but cover is so close. And
there's a shack, and they get to it. So, they're alive for now.
Quick, close the door. Okay.
Act like no one's here.
Okay, let's relax.
Everything considered, how far down south we are, we've only lost 1 player so far. I believe we connected with just 63 this time around, so only lost 1 player at this point. You see Singularity, they're coming in far down south. They must know at this point that there shouldn't be anyone down here, but playing it smart nonetheless. Loki is holding the angle here, trying to scout further forward, make sure that the guys ain't running into no traps. That's what you got to do, because we know these rotation kills, they are valuable, and teams will try to line them up more often than not.
Now, where Singularity... let's mention that Poma is back in the game, but where Singularity are rotating, they're going completely south. They're at the bottom of this huge hill, because that area, the topography of it, it's not just flat land, it doesn't even out eventually, it's just straight drop down. Do you want to be up on that hill, or do you want to be at the bottom of it,
you want to be up.
making your way up? Yeah.
You need to be up there to get the vision, especially when we're still this early on in the game. I mean, the fact that half the circle is water, that's just unfortunate, because landmass-wise, we could potentially be in circle 4 at this point, because there's so much water in this one. So, so you wanna get a position from where you can scout further forward. You need to make sure that you don't have a team ready, and waiting for you just on the other side.
Look at this road that all these teams are on, Space Monkeys, Pronat, and PG. It's just going to be a firing line in there. Boss was coming in. There we go. The circle shifts away from the water, but back in, kind of donating in, but towards the north, western side. Boss getting to fight with Singularity. Panda does fall. Pom, he throws a nade, throwing nades literally everywhere, trying to do his best. A nade bounces straight past him. It's not going to blow up on his face, but Rebo, he's pushed up. He gets a knock onto Noah, and now that evens things up for Singularity.
That's a good one thrown in right there. Nice off angle from Rebo, trying to get the finish. Oh, this nade could be deadly. Oh, it's a bit off to the left. That could have been a double coming in for them, but Rebo able to push further on up the hill. He's by himself right now, though. He needs to wait. He needs to hold the angle. It's a good angle to have, but you cannot risk losing it. Now, Pump does go down. Got 0 once again. He's been landing some shots today and then some.
Yeah, Boss really stepping up the game, especially when you're taking on the top team currently on the leaderboard. You're getting 2 knocks. You've got Ribbo that you need to take care of, but Ribbo peeks over, gets a bit of damage done onto Noah, who is continuing his push. You won't be expecting it, but Ribbo has a rock to play with. The headshot doesn't land. He just needs to look for it. It's going to be Ribbo. Comes out top. 3 HP, Toby.
3 HP and not all of multiplayer from him. He's really utilizing this terrain to his favor. Now he does go down. Noah spots him. There was a sneaky play coming in there, but doesn't work out his favor. It did buy his teammates time to rest on up, though, but it's not going to help him out in the end. Panda does go down. Pom and Loki still alive as this fight continues to go on.
Pom and Lokix, they need to push on. I think God Zero is the last one. No, it's a God Zero and Noah. They're coming in. Lokix has got the flank. He's got a bit of a high ground. Panda's down. The time is ticking. They're in the blue. The nade is going to bounce out. It's going to deafen God Zero, but he's going to back off from that. I think Poma and Singularity, Poma and Lokex, they've decided this is not worth the fight anymore. Yeah. We've done enough damage. And I think Boss win that one if they can get the res off. So it's a 2 for 1 trade.
0. Nope, they didn't get a single kill.
They didn't.
But Vinny will be able to get rest up here as well. So once again, I mean, Boss, they won that previous game, and going up against a team that arguably, at least of what we saw from yesterday, as far as fighting and 4v4 fights go, they were completely dominant yesterday, Singularity. A lot of good individual performances, sure, but there was their overall team play that just really threw them up there, and they just handled them. 4v2, took down 2 of their players, and the last 2 had to back off.
Pronat find themselves in the middle of 2 teams. Space Monkey, so they take down Mike's. Zonny, he knocks himself somehow up there.
Let's not question that.
It doesn't even tell us how. Okay, well, he's running across the road.
There was
so
a buggy. He probably ran himself over.
Yeah, probably. But FG pick up that and get themselves a point. Mike's, he's just out of range from the grenades. Cabron, he's waiting. I don't think he can get the res off there.
He's chilling on the staircase. hoping that they won't be making their rotations over towards him. Mike's can't get around the corner. He could crawl for the rest, but he cannot get over to him on that side. That would be him
what's
being
going
exposed
on?
in the open.
DTZor's crossed the road. He's got the high ground. He's going to take the fight. He takes Captain Bublo down and fishes him as well. Logan and Runner is on the other side. And he's made his way into the concrete compound.
Yep, you can see DTZor in here. He's chilling for now, but he's very far away from his teammates. And there should not be any help coming in at all. Logan and Runner, they have a chance to get him down here. They should know approximately where his nade comes in, but the damage is all blocked from the concrete box.
The molly through the window doesn't quite make it. It's not going to flush DTZor out, but he's going to run out anyways. Hold the corner of the building against Logan, who is going to peek at any second. Now, no, he's not going to go for it. He did get tagged up when he peeked over the top of the hill.
DTZor is playing it smart here.
He gets tagged up from behind.
Yeah. Gotta be worried about those angles. There are too many of them more often than not, but he's really buying himself all the time in the universe. Unfortunately, as you can see, Yonkis and Necro, they are not down there just yet. Still a little bit of a run to make, but all the time in the world he's buying is well paid off.
Grenade just a bit sooner, it would have been great, but now DTZor is going to come around the corner. He's going to get tagged up, so he can't actually use that area to push in from. He could take the fight with Runner, and right now we just see Boss is eliminated. So that's their fight against REI, so they're out of the game now.
That was a quick elimination too. 4 guys on their feet just before, and all of a sudden they're out of the equation. That was a pretty intensive one, everything considered. They had a really good fight against Singularity to start things off.
Where is Lokix? Lokix is pushed up to FK. And now DTZor, he's on the hunt. He is going for Runner. He finds him, but it's not going to be DTZor that wins that. It's going to be Runner. And now they've eliminated the threat.
Time was bought, and the teammates are coming in, but it's too little too late. DTZor does go down. Unfortunately, Nays come in return. Runner has to make the run on off. You can see the circle closing in already. Still plenty of time to go for it to close. It's going to take a while. But Yonkos, you gotta have to wait. You have to wait for your teammate here. Rillans is on the other side with a good angle, but they have to push this one together.
Yeah, you need to push it around the corner. He's holding the angle. Logan, he's holding it. He gets one knock. Runner actually gets a knock onto that. They're both holding the same angle. Runner, he gets knocked on the backside, but Logan, he's going to peek out. Necro just wasn't ready for that peek. We can also see STDC getting to fight with Brazilian Crusaders. 2 knocks there for Swag with 1 grenade, and another one on Psychopata with a nade. But right now, Logan has to back off, pick up Runner, and it's just an absolute massacre. You've got 2 players upstairs on Brazilian Crusaders and STDC trying to get in. Molly's nade smokes everything. There's no vision at all in here. What is that?
Crusaders taken out early, and we also saw Singularity go out with 0 points. That's 2 heavy hitters gone early, and that's going to leave room for some of these other teams to get points harvested on. But we got to keep Mechanica in mind. They're still up there. They got all their players alive. We'll actually make that just 2 players alive, but they do have secured a total of 3 points so far.
Furia found themselves a valley to play in, but they've got the likes of Black Dragons just above them. See FG also raining hell onto Pronat. Necro, he does fall. So they're not having a great time trying to get into the rotation. They have to fight PG and also FG, who are quite a way away from them. But they're third-partying, trying to do their best. Furia, they do have a lot of cover. They do have a lot of cover from a lot of the teams. FK, you can see where Kovad is. He does have vision of them, kind of. A lot of trees covering his path, but they do have the valley that is doing them wonders. Actually, I say that GBL, sorry, finds himself a kill. REI, they pick up 1.
See right here, they have the high ground position, but they're caught on the wrong side of the road. And as I was just going to say, there's a potential of them having to cross it, and indeed now they have to. If you're FK and you know these guys are sitting up here, cross over quickly and potentially hold them off. You can see Furia and Black Dragons, they're sitting side by side on the southern side. They both have to make those rotations on up as well. And I can tell these guys, well, you have a long run to make, and it's going into an open field. So get up there early, get a position, because you don't want to come into that position late.
Let's have a look. PUBG not quite into the circle, and they've got a lot of flat land to cross when they get across that road. Yeah. FG, they're split. They're 4 players strong still, but they are very split, and there's just field in between them. Hopefully they do have a bike or something, but as PUBG, they try and get up onto that road, they're just going to get shot at by BLT, so now they know exactly who they need to fight. Susan takes down Heino, and look at how far Tranco has pushed up on. He spots 1. Oh, Harold!
got spotted out in return. Harold does manage to get the knock-on off, but there's still more players to be dealt with. They go for the flush immediately. These points matter. We know it. We know it. We know it. Want to get all of them that we can. Bitloft. Left to see this this next engagement. Potentially, they got themselves that second knock in as well. It's going to be 2 finish-offs coming in. But there's still one more player to deal with.
Yeah, was Tranko looting? I think Tranko was looting there. He lay down on the crate, and I think he opened it up.
Gotta get those smokes, bro.
Yeah, and he just missed the head of Harold coming up over there. He did have the drop on him. Harold did not notice. We can see Black Dragons finally getting to a fight with Fury. It's going to be Fury that comes out on top. So Fury making the push up the hill and getting rid of Black Dragons. And they do lose a few. Flux does get finished off by Kovad. He's been hiding in a little hay stack. But
Fury,
now,
with just 2 players remaining last game, managed to get 8 kills this time around. Two players remaining now, but they already had 5. And holy moly, energy! What a headshot! Flake right onto Slizzle, and he completely tore up his helmet.
BLT, they need to push in, but they've got 1 player here. Okay, right, so Aaron's like, oh my days, Duh, he's waiting for it, and Duh had an insane game as well yesterday, and he's gonna go for a second one, gets tagged up to about 40 HP, gonna reload, re-peek. Harold, he's pushing up closer to Harold. He's got the AK-47 and he's faster. And BLT, they don't lose anyone, and now they can focus on this fight that they need to take against the 2 members of FG.
Yeah, you can see Furious, though, they're just waiting for them to cross on over. This is going to be a really, really, really hard cross for the players on this side to make. FK, they're waiting for Ray. Still 3 players remaining. They're trying to hold the angle. Kovad spots out Lauren. And that's going to be him down low. 1 HP for Kovad, manages to back off.
He's got time to heal. RDS is low, but look at the rest of his team. They're pushing up. They're trying to get the aggression on and trying to gatekeep Ray as they're coming in. Nice, easy 2 points there. Lawrence said falls GBL. He needs to get out of that, and he's just going to be going up north, but he's into a fight with FG, Furious Gaming. The other 2.
See Furia from the off angle here as well. RDNX gets a good one on towards him, lands a couple of shots, but takes some in return to and needs to back on off. Gotta value your position over everything else. And RDNX, he's just landing shots all over the place right now. Look at this.
Polita gets tagged up as well, taking the same trajectory as his teammate. You don't want to do that against RDNX. He's already got the muscle memory ready to hit those shots. But the circle is going to force all these players to go up north. There's going to be a bloodbath on the south part of the play area there, Tobi.
This is going to be tough, and these guys are all making that run into the open. If you're FK, you cannot just turn around here. You cannot just turn around and ignore the threat and Rojuau and his teammates up on that side. That's big, big, big mistake that these guys just made, and they lost 2 players. Well, technically, without reason.
About to lose a 3rd as Handy, who tries to take the fight with Rojuau as well. The zone is coming in. Rojuau has no time at all, but it's going to be Fury, RDNX, and Hiergen. They finish off FK with help of Rojuau. Oh, dear Lord. Mechanicas.
Cito from on the... they've been up here for a while now. They've been chilling. And look at the position they've made for themselves. 2 vehicles block off all entrances. It does make it very easily explodable. But as we've said also in the last game, people are in this circle now. Odds are they spent all their utility like 15 minutes ago.
Right, JBL, he's made his way into the zone. Not the best place to be in. You're kind of a sitting duck there.
He's not in the circle either.
Yeah, he's not. He's not. He can call in, but he's waiting for Mechanicas. Now he knows, because his teammate died, the information of where they are. But Mechanicas have got 2 vehicles. They can actually use it to get into a better position in the circle. But look at the playing field there, Tobi. It's just completely open, flat. There's hardly any trees there either. Hardly any wood.
Hardly any wood to play around. Bitloft's still on the other side of the road. They haven't really committed to that cross yet. Makes sense. Might as well stay put. Get yourself some guaranteed placement points before you make the run. And if you're Harold with that SLR, well, I mean, don't need to think twice about that one. Energy landed a good one before, but now he's going to be taken down in return. And also Pronet, they're starting to push on forward. I believe it's just 1 player in Relance remaining, and he is doing damage.
Takes down Chickerton and finishes him off. The nade being cooked. I think he's going to get out of that just in time. Oh, no, he's not. That grenade takes down Relance. And just like that, I think BLT are making a push across the road. They are being forced by the zone, and they're closing the gap. FLKS, he's going to hold them, but he just about sees that the flashbang's coming out first, Tobi.
Mechanicas go out.
It's going to be a 4-man flashbang.
Still a couple of points coming in here. This is smoke thrown forward, I believe. You see FLKS trying to hold the angle here. 2 players do go down to Danny's nade. Great throw in there. But it's just FLKS remaining now. He cannot go aggressive on this. He needs to get a res on up before he can push on it.
He can. Like, BLT, they've got to res 2 players, and they only have 2 players up, but 1 is doing all the reses. So that's 20 seconds that 3 players are out, because everyone has to heal as well after that. Susan, he is holding the angle, making sure that no push is coming out. You can see energy, he does fall. He was too far away to get res. And FLKS, you don't want to get tagged up as well. The rest of BLT, they're just waiting to get their health up, and they're going to be coming hard and fast.
It is a really, really tough situation for them. They're completely caught in the corner here. And not only do they get each other up, sure, that's all good and fine, but BitLoft, they managed to get all 4 players back up on their feet. Just 20 seconds to go until this circle is going to shift, and they have to make this run off.
Yeah, GRunner doesn't even have time to get a first aid off. I mean, he does, but what do you value more, getting a better position in the next circle or being 100 HP?
Yeah, SDDC, they're sitting pretty well in it for now, at least. They know that people are around, so they're smoking them off, or smoking themselves off as best as they can. We are down to 5 teams, and if you see down south, the team that lost the first player in the game, well, I mean, they're still alive and kicking. They've had this compound since Circle 1, and they ain't gonna be complaining about that.
Malvina's game. Oh, this is a nice dip that BLT have found. Unfortunately, it's not in the circle, but neither is Malvina's Gaming. They're going to have to come out of that concrete at some point, but they do find 1 point, and that is JBL. And Espada Dore is eliminated in 5th place.
Herald spotted out Noran, or at least his shots fired should give him the info that there's players in below him, and they need to deal with this. They cannot take any engagements towards the center of the circle before they've cleared their backside. They need to jump down here, take the full-on fight. They don't know how many players are down here, of course, but they need to really play it smart. You can see them there on this side. They have a chance. If Herald can just draw their attention towards him, that should allow for his teammates to flank underneath.
Yeah, Kuzask going for a good push. Noran, I think he's managed to make this little flank without being spotted. And if he just pushes up, he sees the smoke. He doesn't quite see Harold, but it's how far up do you need to push, or do you want to push, because the rest of BLT are there. Meanwhile, the other side of the circle, SCDC get into a fight with Furious Gaming. Swag does fall low. The molly's going to come out. A bit of zone control is actually going to land close to Swag and is going to force him out of that position, but up on the hill. He goes up, he gets headshotted straight away, but it's BLT that are taking this fight as well. And he does finish the kill as well, so no extra points for FG. It all goes to BLT.
BitLoft, they're just holding all the angles right now. Now they're running even further up the hill. They know they have to get towards the circle, so they're saying, you know what, we'll take the fight with the guys down the hill in just a moment. We'll just make some room for ourselves first. Trying to make sure that whenever we do have to make this push up the hill, then we'll be in a position to do that.
FG, they know that Cassin's in that shed. They need to deal with him, but Cassin's not in it. He's on the outside, which gives him more maneuverability, and he's going to hold the angle against FLKS, but it's going to be Susan. He gets the headshot after a little bit of a tag from Cassin. And FG, it doesn't look like they're going to be surviving much longer.
No, if you're SCDC right here, if you're Cassin, all you have to do right now is stay put for as long as you can. You know that BitLoft are pushing around the side here. Just stay put, stick to it, and wait for them to potentially get some kills in for you.
Yeah, that's not gonna last that long. You do get a knock, but you give away your position, and straight away you're gonna get taken out. And Cassin comes out of his little hidey hole, takes a few shots into Ragnar. Susan's down, Harold's rezzing him, so it's only a 1v1, but Cassin falls very low. He's gonna get back in cover and get
gotta stay alive
a first aid up. And there we go, Malvina's Gaming. They're pushing up from behind. They're getting into a fight. ERN, he is very low. Noran, he wins the fight against that, and now they've got some time. They've got a rock to play around with and a ridge.
Yep, plenty of time here. Just take it easy, get meted up. If you can, you have the time right now. Have one guy holding the angle while the other guy's resting, and then reverse it the other time around. In the moment, if you're casting, you just gotta stay put. You're inside the circle right now. These guys are fighting. This could be a free placement point for you. Make that 2 free placement points. We just spot him out in the open. Question is, though, Malvinas, do they start shooting on the open guy that's a solo, or do you expect these guys to be pushing down towards you?
Cassin's just trying to give himself some more breathing room. He has himself a good, nice
inside
rock.
The circle. Wow, that's so fortunate.
You can actually see everyone from this angle. Not so much BLT, but you can see, look at that. He starts taking some shots onto Malvinas, and it's going to be Noran. He's in the blue. The blue helps him. Blue actually knocks him. Cassin, he's going to pick it up. Yeah, he does. He gets the kill.
Every single point matters. 8 points for SDDC this game so far. And you can see Kazas, he don't have time to heal, and he won't be able to get it off either. He goes down. Sizzle gets himself to finish off there. Now it's all on 1. 3v1 in that regard. BitLoft got themselves 9 kills already, but they still have Cassins to deal with.
Cassim behind the rock is actually doing a lot of damage. Two players down to 30 HP, but now he's down to 23, throwing the smokes out. The circle's coming in, doesn't have time to heal. No. It's going to be Harold, comes around the corner, finds the angle and takes him out. And Bitloft take game number 2 here on Miramar with 10 kills.
That was an impressive game there. They stayed on the other side of the road for the longest of time, and they waited. They said, we will take this engagement, we absolutely have to. But in order for us to cross this road, we need to get a good knock in. And that came immediately. Boom! You see energy gone down, and that wasn't what forced them to make that push on forward.
I mean, as we were saying at the start of the game, it's all about your economy as well. You get knocked a lot. When your third knock comes in, there's no way you're getting rezzed. And by the time they got into that final circle, it looked like everyone was pretty healthy.
It was. I mean, the fact that they managed to stay with 4 guys up for the longest of time, they didn't lose that one player until the very, I believe, second to last fight.
Yep.
Even though they had fights where 3 players were knocked and just 1 was up, they always managed to pick up each other. We keep talking about it in the competitive scene that oftentimes a good disengage is more valuable than a good engage. I mean, you always have to be able to say, you know what, nope, we got to back off of this one, we got to heal back up, and we got to get our players back up on their feet. They did it, they got themselves 10 kills, and they got themselves a win with it too.
Absolutely, we saw them do a very good disengage. Right, here we go. They actually took the road from PUBG. I want to say PUBG, but it's PUBG.
Look at that.
Come on, guys. Why you make it so hard for us? You know, they took the road from them, and they just sat there. They waited, and they disengaged from taking that fight from across the road after getting a couple of knocks, and they just back off, and they get a better position into the circle. And here we go. This is where chaos just ensued on
once we forced everyone out into the open, that was a hard time, even for the guys that won the game. They were starting to take shots from multiple angles. They couldn't really make a decision on which fight they wanted to engage in first. In a perfect world, I had seen Bitloff push down towards the 2 players on the southern side,
take
clear
care of them
first, have the entire southern side to themselves, and then you can start picking people up, pick people off uphill. They were kind of fighting on 2 fronts, and it almost cost them. They had 2 players knocked at one point, and had Cassim made the push on down there, they could potentially have lost it.
I mean, it's about how confident you are. They did have 1 player holding that flank, making sure those 2 players did not come up, but it's about how confident you are in that 1 player. Of course, maybe the aim just wasn't there, or he just wasn't ready for them to make that push. He did lose it, but nonetheless, you had that player there for the information when Melvinas were making the push, and that it worked in their favor in the end, and they come out on top. 10 kills. That's 10 points.
Impressive feat for sure. I mean, really good game also. STDC, great performance coming in there, but that was all game number 2 had to give you guys. We'll be bringing you game number 3 in just a short moment, so stick around. We'll be right back.
I've been feeling like a man out of time. I've been staring into space to get in tune. I've been waiting for the sand to fall behind. I've been looking for a face inside the moon. I've been looking for a faith to lead the faithless. Caught slipping trying to catch the speed of light. Every time I try to make a way out of my lateness, pulled over, got somebody reading me right. Cause we've been chasing after hours, counting minutes second hand, spending all of our tomorrows trying to come up with a plan. We don't call up information cause they don't know what we saying. No one one knows, no one knows. We all woke up in the upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Falling overboard, catch me off the side. Or maybe you just missed it when you closed your eyes. Life goes in an instant, one hell of a ride. If you don't go for fiction, I'll get caught up in the lies while you was chasing after hours, counting minutes second hand, spending all of our tomorrows trying to come up with a plan. We don't call up information cause they don't know what we saying. No one knows, no one knows. We all woke up in the upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. False starts like roll it in the dark like stutter steps last breath. Staring in the void, feeling paranoid, thinking if you fall, you won't make a noise. Off of opioid, man, you got a droid, at least you got a phone. Fucking humanoid, why you xenophobe? Why you so annoyed? Why you tripping out? Who made you devout? Why we go this route? Can you do without? If you look within, here we go again. Hands inside the vehicle, you mad cause it's autonomous. You thinking you anonymous, but we upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Feel like we've been missing out. Feel like we've been missing out. Feel like we've been missing out.
Vai na fé, vai atrás do que você quer. Quem tá na missão sabe bem o que é. Gasta a sola do pé, nunca será em vão. Se correr pelo certo, não muda a direção. Quem tá na contramão vai bater de frente. Se colhe o que planta, escolha bem a semente. Cultiva aquilo que acredita. Se tem fé é a chance, ela é infinita. Irrita quem só reclama e põe defeito. Todo errado se julga o ser humano perfeito. Mas perfeito ninguém é, nem nunca vai ser. Sem dar um migué, faz acontecer. Fazer por merecer é difícil quem faz. É mais fácil falar do que correr atrás. Se é capaz, mostra pra si mesmo primeiro. Depois conquista o mundo, mais nobre guerreiro. Você pode, você faz. Esse é o conceito de quem assume a responsa e bate no peito. Não basta ter fé, se não se movimenta, nem o teto se mantém sem o pilar que o sustenta. Tenta, até conseguir. Se a fé não remove a montanha, ela te ajuda a subir, progredir. A cada passo dado, evoluir, resistir o peso do fardo. O obrigado atrai tanta coisa pra agradecer. A vida dá um pensamento pra vencer. Enquanto só reclama, só chama mais problema. Deixa o mal fluido solto e o bom cheio de algema.
Welcome back, everyone. I've swapped seat and I've also swapped partner. I'm Tobi and I am joined by GRunner or Renee, whichever is preferred by you guys and preferred by the guy next to me. Talha's taking a break and we'll be bringing you the last 3 games of today of the GLL Latin American Masters. Last game, like the first one, forced teams out into the open. And there's a tendency of either we go all in with cities or we go all in with pancake open fields. And well, I mean, the last 2 games today have been open fields, and let's see how the scores have unfolded in doing so.
It seems like this is a way better map for BitLoft and also for Fury Esports compared to day one. Definitely. If you look at the score, they did well on the second one. They also did well in round one. Compare that with Team Singularity, the top team from day one. It seems like just the Miramar gameplay and this more open field, as you said before, has a huge impact today on top teams and how they perform.
Miramar is very punishing, and one of the big takeaways from that last game, as you can see on the leaderboards as well, is 16th and 15th place. Big zeros coming in for both Singularity and Crusaders, arguably 2 of the, at least on paper, stronger teams in this group, and we'll see now. This is, of course, is the overall leaderboard coming into that next game. Singularity still, despite 0 points there, sitting on the top. We talked about yesterday how we can say maybe 2, potentially 3 really bad games, but then the rest have to be good. And well, I mean, that was the first one for Singularity they can throw out of the window, and then hopefully they'll get something going for the last couple of games.
Really surprising to me is BitLoft, because they have been a bit under the radar yesterday, because we're concentrating on Singularity, we concentrated on Mechanica, because they did the big plays. And then when I looked at the statistics of day one and the top players, it was like, oh, 3rd place is someone from BitLoft. And we never really had them that often on the screen. And here in Miramar, they really show, hey, we're consistent. It doesn't matter if we change maps. We're still on top.
Yeah, I mean, they tend to do their engagements at the same time as everyone else. So it's one of those, which fight do we focus on? And also when the kill feed starts just going chaotic, that's when they really start doing the fights. Like, there are teams that just, I don't know how they do it, but they have a skill of embracing chaos. And like, while everyone else is running around like, what's going on? They can find their ways around it and really get structure within it. And that can pay off so damn well, because that's when you can really catch teams off guard.
It's definitely true. I mean, we know chaos is kind of part of PUBG, but as soon as we got at least 3 teams involved, it's squads. That means that it's 12 people already that are potentially dropped or killed or even run over sometimes. It depends on what's happening. We see once again a plane going from, let's say, the middle of the east down to south, crossing Los Leones immediately and ending on Los Higos.
Pretty straightforward play. Now, the thing is, we don't have a lot of southern teams, at least usually within this group, so it'll be fun to see how teams decide to spread out. Teams that want to go El Pozo, La Coparilla, all these areas on the western side, well, I mean, they'll have to settle for other things. You see Crusaders, they normally go up towards Monte Nuevo. They'll have to go down south, potentially take some vehicles and drive up there. I think it's going to depend on where that circle goes. If it goes east anyway, it's like, why even bother driving all the way up there just to go back again?
That's true. I mean, we saw that yesterday. They stick to their loot regions, to the loot compounds. They did it before. They basically try to split the map up so they're not running into fist fights like yesterday in the first 2 minutes. The only thing is here right now is the Mechanicas and Ray are slightly closer than I expected after match 1. That circle is going all the way south and west, which means most of the teams are out, and that gives a huge advantage now to BRC and BLT.
We have teams that are still flying. Boss is still in the air, and they just saw the circle and then went like, oh my god.
But the Bat Dragons picked up 1 kill already, and that was below 2 minutes, so actually really quick. PUBG, they had some good matches yesterday. They prefer to start on Sosnovka Island when it comes to Arangel. Here in Miramar, obviously everything is completely different for them. Space Monkeys, they're down by 2. There was only 1 kill. Did he not connect?
I'm not sure what have happened. There could have been the issue. We had some issues with people connecting in the last couple of games too. So it could be, of course, when things are online, everything can happen. We just leave it up to our internet and not knowing what happens with the connection, and then we'll get in there. Rusty.
Rusty Zero, all
he's
alone.
isolated.
Yeah, I mean, there's this BLT and PUBG in between him and the rest of the team. Malvinas Gaming's also down south, right next to BRC. So this seems to be some sort of I hope so, at least, for the teams that are set up first before they start fighting down there, because they have a huge advantage with everyone else that needs to push into that circle from northeast.
With circles like these, you really got to determine early on when you're the in-game leader and saying, guys, do we go on the edge and try to harvest some of these kills? Because it's very limited where teams can really enter this circle from. You got to go southeast or you got to come in from the northwestern side. Because if you go up northeast, that's just going to be compounds and nobody want to go through that. So you got to say, do we go on the edge and try and get kills, or do we settle for a position ourselves? Because if you're Crusaders right now, you're already down to the southern side. You can stick around. Potentially could even send a guy over to that southern island. I mean, there's a chance that we do send the next circle over across, and when that happens, believe me, you do want to have a guy over there early, because if not, chaos.
Especially as they didn't have a good day yesterday in general, and we have them as one of the top teams, and I think they should concentrate now on positioning rather than hunting for kills, because that didn't really work yesterday. But then if you look at Rusty Zero being all alone up there, it's like, yeah, you can't really create a full setup because they're not a full squad anymore.
Yeah, they have to buy themselves some time and sit on the side of the circle where they can get Rusty to come on down towards him. Now, of course, he's a very talented player, but getting all that info plus rotating on your own, because his team can only help him so much. I mean, they can sit around, they can say what compound they have and what's available within their vicinity, but there's no way in hell they can provide him any info of what's going on and around him. And also for him, he can't really do any engages, because if anyone stops on him, that could potentially be a 1v4. And you see it right here. He wants to get up to the road. He wants to start shooting. But I'm pretty sure STDC, they spotted him jumping out.
Yeah, it's a bit risky here for Rusty Zero to show himself like this.
FLG is turning around immediately.
Yeah. I mean, he's all alone. As soon as they realize that, no, FLG is going away anyway. I was just wondering, with the teams that are far up north or northeast, a team like Singularity with that strong solo performance they had yesterday out of Poma and Panda, if it would be worth for them to rotate over El Pozo and then
go west on this one.
Just because they had so much strong aiming and dynamic movement, while Psychopath gets knocked by Malvinas Gaming. Kuzak's already Noran finishes him off. That's another point for them.
We talked about Rusty being by himself, but he's not in issues at all. He actually gets himself a double knock towards Rafa and Kassin. He's not the one having issues. He's not the one we should be afraid of. We should be afraid of the other guys not having him there to help them.
That was strong. I mean, it's like the lonely wolf there for BRC, and he gets himself 2 kills, getting them up on top of the kill tracker in front of the Black Dragons and Malvinas Gaming.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Oh, look, they even bring them with accessories. That's nice. Dices. They're hopefully plushies.
They have to be, right?
They have to be. Otherwise, it would be way too risky. I mean, what if they'll slam in your face? Yeah. Or window or whatever. They fall down. I think that's not okay. It's way too risky.
Have to be the
Ray rotating. That's Lauren, Sid, Rogi, and the rest of the squad. They're rotating down south at the coast.
Everyone
into the circle.
I think. I mean, GLL was the first time we saw a competitive game end on the islands, not the southern one, but the eastern one. And it's as if ever since then, because before that happened, nobody believed it could happen. So nobody even took into account. Like, people would still be sitting up north in these type of circles and saying, "There's no way it goes down there." But then after we did see that island ending, people have been saying, "Oh, you know what? We might just want to sit a little further south here, because if there's a chance it goes over, we got to be nearby." And if you go to Los Higos and all the way over to the western side of Val del Mar, you cannot get up from the water. It's such a steep cliff. It's such a steep cliff line that you can only get up on either the eastern side of Los Higos. Around there, I believe there's like 1 or 2 spots you can get up west of that. But then it's all the way up to Val del Mar before you can really do anything. It's extremely hard to get over to that other island if you don't use the bridges.
Boss Esports, the winner of game number 1 today, they're rotating across Montenuevo. The tactic I was having in mind for Team Singularity, they do the complete opposite, it seems.
They go east, that's interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if they're not realizing that they will be way too late. Because look at how crowded it is right now on the southern coast. It's crazy.
They would be late no matter how they rotate on this, but one info that they should have is with the plane path, the way that it was, they should have already now said, we got to go west. They know for a fact that with the plane going this far south and east as it did, there's no way players would have been up on the northwestern side. And that should have been the call. But of course, heat of the moment could be that they just have a different approach to it and they want to play it from another position. Ooh, Letty spotted out Roger. That could be him going down real soon.
Yeah, he doesn't really get a straight shot there. And with the rest of FG also gets involved right now. So that is Mechanicas, Furious Gaming, and all the way down it's Ray. been in this fight. I
Yeah.
mean, Furious Gaming, probably the best position for this fight because they have least amount of possible lines to shoot them.
They have the high ground position,
Yeah.
and that, I mean, we should never see teams be this close to each other. And you can see GBL, oh my lord, if he can get an 8 connected up here on
Oh,
the
that's a
vehicle,
good
this could be a
one.
double, this could be a triple. They have to just run away from the car. Don't get anywhere near that thing. At least now Pam sees the nade come in once again, and that's the vehicle exploded. Lord, oh lord, that could have been a triple kill right there, but only one guy goes down so far, and all of a sudden, Mechanicus, we praise them for their placements. They don't get a lot of kills, and this time around, they're in all kinds of trouble.
I mean, that grenade should have been cooked like a second, 1.5 seconds longer.
That would have been
and there
a
would be a
big one.
triple. And now they need to do it the manual way of just shooting. But they still got Furious Gaming on top, and they are just sending
Exactly.
bullets down the hill. They try to get involved here. Rogi with some good shots into that and gets Letty at least knocked for now. Not killed. Might be able to flush him out with the molly. Is that hitting it?
A lot of damage coming in towards
yeah.
the
No,
Mechanicus
it doesn't.
players, and
Okay.
even Cito, he has to just drive on off him. Sorry, Letty, but there's no way in hell I'm getting you back up on your feet. I need to get out of here, and I'm still under fire. Look at these shots coming in from Crusaders, too. That's a solid 500-600 meters away.
And we saw that yesterday. What was it?
Yeah, 700 meters
Yeah.
from Singularity. Yep, that was a pretty insane knock there.
Yeah, really sweet shot they had. Rusku, though, gives it a try. What happening? Kovet finds the rest of the Mechanicas, and it seems like this is just not how they wanted to start Game 3. That's for sure. They lost
Not
one
at
already.
all.
They might lose a second one. Right now, they do so, and that kill goes over to the FK team.
New circle pops, and I'm not sure exactly where we are going, but it seems like we're going somewhat north. Indeed, we are at least towards the western side. Veldenmeister in. There's a chance that we do go down towards the south. Of course, it's a slim one, but there indeed is one of you. If you know PUBG, whatever you expect the most is normally the opposite of what happens. So it seems to me like FK, they'll be indeed making their transition on over. There you go. Doink. They'll make their transition on over towards the other side, make their rotation through the island, and potentially, because the thing is, the northern side here, it's going to be so condensed with teams.
You
There's
saw
going to be
XX
so many up
He
there.
actually saw the flying drone, the camera guy, the observer. He aimed at it immediately.
Like, what is this?
Energy
Am I in a
finds
game?
Lauren a sit. That's another drop, and it seems like they're just running from one problem to the other one. I mean, Ray, they got, let's say, the upper hand on the last one.
Yeah.
For Furious Gaming, they have the high ground. They got the grenades. They're dropping down low. They miss Rogi, though, but he's below half health. If
Yeah.
just someone watches over that ridge line, they get him. Energy falls. Rogi falls as well on the other side. And it seems like it's going all kind of shooting and chaos right now. Still, no one died.
They've traded 1-for-1 so far, at least as far as knocks go. No finish-offs, as you said right there, coming in just yet. And now it's been stalled for a little while. It's Ray who made the initial push on up towards FG, and they realized we cannot get away from here if we don't deal with these guys first. But it's so damn hard to fight uphill. We know it from Star Wars. High ground is the best ground, and there's just not a lot you can do when you're down here.
Yeah, they're sending the grenades down, Furious Gaming here, but they can't find Rogi nor the other two, and seems like they will not go. Oh, they find
That is a
GBL
random
with a
nade
lucky
right
one
on
here.
the money.
Yeah, just bouncing down, and they dropped another one, but they basically given away 2 kills here. That's also 2 points, but
Oh
there's
my
another
God.
grenade right on GBL. That was unexpected for me that he actually survived.
That one, I mean, what is this?
There's another one.
Are you kidding me? What?
Yes. that looked like bowling. They always had the same throw, and they were just trying
Now
to
they're coming
adjust
down
immediately.
again. There's a, you know what?
Another one,
That's
another one.
They're coming down the hill again now. They're like, oh, you know what? Let's just turn around on this one. We just knocked 2 players. What in the universe? That smoke, I'm not sure if they could see it from up the hill, but all of a sudden things are falling apart for Reggie. We do see PG go down as well. That's from elsewhere on the map. We'll get a little bit of a detail on that one in just a moment. But Danny now, shots applied in return. Space Monkeys, they might want to chime in on this one too.
Yeah, but FG also lost one. Chikitin fell, so it seems like it's not going the right way for FG right now. Now they're pushing down, and they got Ray eliminated, annihilated from the map. It took them a while. I mean, you said that. They saw that they had 2 knocks. They got the third one, but then one of the Ray players was picked up already. So they once again had to face 3 of them, or 2 to 3.
The universe
Ah,
that we just
that was
witnessed.
crazy.
That was absolutely insane. Singularity, they came in east. They've made their way over towards this side. We can see Velden Mars, they're up for grabs. We got the road there. Easily traversable, but of course this next circle could indeed guarantee us where we are headed. Is it going south? The random circle down south, or are we indeed going up north? We are going north. No island endings and Singularity. Are you going to continue this way around, or are you going to go back
like
over?
that they're really committed then to be as far outside as possible. I mean, they really went all the way around and then down the south to be now left on the other side of the circle, basically. Because look at the north of the circle. You got Esports, you got Furia in there. You got the Mechanicus still in there, Malvinas Gaming. Really, everyone is bunched up in that small circle. And Singularity, they are the ones that try to squeeze in at one point there somewhere.
And the difference in terrain here is massive. The highs and lows, you can see it here as well. There's so many small dips, and even if you're a 4-man team, you can never count yourself safe. Snakes are the name of the game in this area, and especially once we get later into the game with so many different teams on top of each other, they won't be able to move. They'll just be holding their small positions for the longest of time. See XX trying to crawl on forward. Last remaining player on his team, and he's not in for a good one.
Yeah, Furious Gaming, they needed the smokes here to pick up. Danny Chikitin is able to revive him. That's good for them. It's another one back in action, back on duty. The XX, as he said, he's all alone. Mechanic is not really in game 3 as they would like to be, and they had been in the previous rounds. Are they? Look at Singularity. Panda is we're still in blue.
I think they're kind of trying to figure whether they want to go around this way or not. The thing is that now they've waited for so long on making that fully committed decision, so they have to go north. They cannot they have to stay on the island and go over by Val del Mar. They simply don't have time to do anything else.
Yeah, do you think Panda is really considering going back over the other bridge?
No, not at this point. But they still have a player in the blue.
Oh, he was just picking up.
Wink.
All right,
there you go.
They pick up the rest. Furious Gaming currently leading with 4 kills. Promet did the same, also 4. All right. Both teams are down to 3 players. The same for the Brazilian Crusaders. Seems to be a thing right now.
Yeah, Prone Tag took out PG early on in the game. That was happening while we saw crazy nades thrown elsewhere. Now Black Dragons trying to hold off the winners of last game in Bitloft. They had a really good 10-kill win. Some smart rotation, smart decision-making when it came to fights. Gave them the victory there, but it seems like Black Dragon, I mean, they know they're there. They have to run either through them or around them to potentially get a flank on the other side, but they are in somewhat of a 2-2 split here, and if they start realizing that they're split off from one another, well, I mean, there's a chance that they could full engage on it.
Yeah, Black Dragons at least had the intel that it's 2 in that one
and they're
compound.
backing off. They're backing off now.
Yeah, it
smart
seems like
play.
they're not going for it.
Smart play from Bitloft. In real life, like they feel the pressure, they know they're around, and they say, you know what, we're not going to engage on this now. Let's just back
as you
off.
said, they were split.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just took the right decision to say, all right, we don't need to force all of this.
Exactly.
There's still 14 teams. There's no reason to do so.
Exactly. No reason whatsoever to engage early on, especially if you don't feel like you're in a position to take the fight. But Mechanica now, gone down and out. I believe they got 1 kill with them. No, make that 0 kills, actually. So a 0-point game for the 2nd place team. A 3rd place make that because Bitloft just surpassed them. So 3rd place so far, now a 0-point game. This could allow for both Singularity and for Bitloft as well to get more of a gap in between them.
I think it's just game 3 is the one where Singularity needs to fight back to the performance they had yesterday. If they want to stay on top. I mean, yes, this is day 2. There's another 6 games tomorrow, but you can't just completely skip Miramar in terms of performing.
We gotta keep in mind right now that we call this Battle Royale, and there's another title going somewhat similar called King of the Hill. This is exactly what it is. I mean, PUBG, they have the hilltop compound, and everything else is downhill on all sides. This fight here, you see how many teams are trying to make their way on up from Val del Mar and the western side in general. Oh, Lord, this is going to be extremely hard for a vast majority of these teams.
It will be interesting if PUBG can actually turn that into success, that position. We know, as good as it is to have an awesome position, it doesn't automatically give you
it's no freebie
points or anything.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, BRC, Raspu, he's trying to get some bullets connected to Boss Esports down the hill. Didn't really work. Poma, one of the heroes and highlight players of day 1, really showed impressive performance, and then right after Panda was like, what he can do, I can do as well.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, in this game he didn't connect to the first one. 2nd game they all died without any kills. So who knows? Maybe that was the warm-up they needed, and then they can start fragging out in this one. And also Crusaders, we keep talking about them. We've yet to really see them wake up to the potential that we've seen them deliver before when they qualified for the FACEIT Global Summit. And now, though, now. They're on the edge of the circle. They have a chance to hold off Black Dragons. but they have to be worried. They have to keep their focus on what's happening behind them. They cannot set full tunnel vision on what's going on in the circle when they know they're on the edge.
Oh, look at this Black Dragon.
They know they're there. They heard the shots from
coming
left.
closer to the Brazilian Crusaders, and they get it right in the back. Raspu falls first. Berg got that one done and dusted in no time,
Perfect
basically.
timing.
And now Brazilian Crusaders, they should be aware that the Black Dragons are sitting right behind them. And then this isn't a great position anymore. They had the high ground before,
Yeah.
but yeah, now it's just flipped the playing field.
It is extremely tricky to fight around these hills, especially considering that the people, if they do decide to, from Valdemar, can shoot up towards them.
Beautiful flank.
I like the idea. They're throwing the nades, they're throwing the smokes to obscure all the vision. Now, Faiska does go down. Andy gets the first one. Rusty gets spotted out, taking a little bit of damage. Andy gets spotted out as well, but he gets a headshot in return. 2 players gone down on the other side.
I'm surprised. That was really well done. He turned around, realized that they got flanked, and dropped 2 immediately. But Black Dragon might be able to come out on top here. Kill Demo.
He's
He's
all
the
by
one that can
himself.
make it happen. Yeah, there's Andy still around. You see him close to Rusty Zero now. He tries to pick him up. So Kildemo needs to push right now and spot them. But he doesn't. He doesn't go over the hill enough to actually see those 2. And now he's wondering, where the hell are they?
Yeah, what can you do from here? You can see his teammates are trying to crawl on over and get the info and the angle, and in the end, they do manage to get it. But 2 players here, 2 players taken down in order to obtain what they wanted to get there. And also we saw Furia. We talked about these road blockades coming in. They took out the entirety of Singularity. So that's another game with minimal points. Just 1 kill point for Singularity this game. That's the last 2 games played for them with just 1 point in total.
Definitely not the day they were hoping for, and not what everyone out there expected here in Latin American Masters after yesterday's performance. Chickerton takes some hits at FK, and Dennett is helping out. Belita falls. That's another kill for the Furious Gaming guys, up to 5 now.
And see PUBG, they're just trying to hold their hilltop. They know that their people will be coming from all different angles. They will really, really need to play this one smart if they want to make sure no one can push all the way up towards them. FK, they have a bit of a traverse to make. They have Furious pushing down on one side, they have MVG on the other, and they have Space Monkeys holding that open field that they eventually will have to run on through. This is not going to be easy. Mankovat might be able to get a little off-angle position here. As I say that, though, he gets spotted out.
Yeah, the grenade definitely went in his direction. So Furious Gaming, they know that FK is having one of his spies down there in this small wooden house. He's going for a grenade. Does that fit? Nope, that's nowhere near a player, I think. We see Flakes rotating around, and he tries to get a different angle onto Kovat while Kill Demo. Oh, that's the entirety of Black Dragons Esports being annihilated by STDC. All right, after they had such a good, not good push because they also lost 2, but still they were in, and that grenade hit Boss Esports right in the face. There's another one close to Noah. Nope, bouncing off.
Goes in that direction, but no damage done. Maybe a bit of audio obscuring, but nothing else other than that. FG, they're under pressure now.
Yeah,
multiple teams helping each other.
Yeah, they're shooting now down from that hill, the position you were talking about. They have it under control. Mufasa also dies. Kovat dies. Handy who dies. That's the end for FK, the FK team. While Boss Esports, they still got some cars. They're getting ready. Furia on the other side of Malvinas Gaming, and Einkel was not aware of that. He took 1 shot, thought it's an easy one, and then realized he has the entire team on the other side. It took him down real quick.
Furious, they got eliminated as well, got themselves 6 kills in the game, and now Furia will be the name sisters, I guess you can say. Furious, Furia, trying to surpass what they managed to do in kill points. They already got themselves 6, they got 3 players left alive, and now they're trying to hold off MVG in this rotation coming in. Malvinas will have a tough push to make up, but it ain't gonna happen. PUBG will be there to hold them off.
Yeah, Chuck Pyra did for Furia, and then PUBG Heino, he chipped into this little fight. That's 7 now for Furia. Furia, they don't have to worry about Malvinas Gaming anymore, which gives them a bit more room to work with and to rotate around PUBG all the way up the hill. But that won't be an easy one, as I said. They are the king of the hill, and they might even become the king of the match. Ooh. They play it right, but it's already been taken down by RDNX, and that will not go in their favor. There's a grenade following. I think it hits. It does not, yes.
It does not, yes.
It does not, yes. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
Fury, I mean, gotta say it. RDNX, he's been, you gotta watch out. Don't want to fall down. That could be the death of you. You want to get up the hill, not fall back down it. And the circle has gone up north, as we can see here. PUBG, they're just making a run for it. They do not want it. People don't want any more of this. They lost one player. Now they're trying to disengage. Prone tag, and they're holding off Space Monkeys. They'll be going down and out. So 7 kills as well for Prone Tag, a team that we haven't talked a whole lot about, but they have had some really, really good moments.
But once again, Bitloff is still with us. 0 kills. And I said they just work a lot under the radar.
They got
we
four
never
teams
have
alive,
them.
4 players alive.
Yeah, we never have them on the highlight plays, but they make sure that they score big consistently every single game, and that's the reason why they're in the top 3. Now Furia comes very close to Part B. They want to take that hill, and HiPow is probably not aware that Furia is that close already. I mean, they moved out a bit.
They must have heard him now.
Yeah,
as well,
they went away from the ridge. They were like, okay, we're not facing them right now. We wait a bit, but they're also not in the circle anymore.
But you got to keep in mind, I mean, for Bitloft, the guys there, BLT, I mean, they not only are they in the top 3, they surpassed. They surprised Mechanica.
Yeah.
And now, with 2 games back-to-back, just 1 point overall for Singularity, that could be them really catching up if they get a good end game here. Sure, 0 kills so far. It's not the greatest amount of points. Quite the opposite, to be honest. But placement points already guaranteed, and there's a big chance of them with 4 guys alive still. They can get a lot more going their way.
I really think currently they might be the strongest. When it comes to momentum, I will put my money on Furia. I mean, the 8 kills they racked up lately,
really going well.
and they look super dynamic. They're reacting quick. They're adapting to what's happening. They're rotated a lot. So yeah, I'll give them a favorite role right now.
Only thing is, you can see the bottleneck here. It's getting smaller and smaller. They're pinned in between 2 teams. They have to really figure whether they want to commit to focusing on the guys in the compound, which seems to be the decision. But RDNX is running down in the open, and this is a scary push. Look at how exposed he is. If Hippo decides to look out here, that's going to be 3 players caught completely out in the open. Spots out 1, but he doesn't even get the first knock in.
HiPow. Look at this. He was, yeah, as you said, they were in the open, but HiPow had no chance. He tried to peek, and Furia reacted immediately, sent some bullets his way. Heino, though, finds his own teammate, so HiPow is now finally killed. At least that's not a point that goes into Furia's books.
Take him out of the misery. That's only fair, I guess. Flock's trying to jump on off. No nades connected there, but the blue damage is extreme already. And there you go. That's going to be Puck B out of the equation. They'll be going down in 5th place. Multiple other teams started fighting, and you can see here for BLT, they've been completely pinned in by the 4-man strong Boss. They won the first game, and they're looking to get themselves another one here.
Yeah, they're the only team that's still in full force. And if they keep that alive a bit longer, then obviously it will help them a lot. Noah now gets dropped by Sizzlin from BLT. That is our 3rd place in terms of performance from yesterday. Not the team, but Sizzlin himself as a player. He was following Panda and Apoma from Singularity, and I'm pretty sure that this statistic will look completely different after Miramar, that's for sure.
Like the push around here from the team below. I like Furious decision making here as well. They came down, they cleared the compound, they knew it was done. Now they're pushing back on up the hill to try and see what they can get on the top. Spotted 1, doesn't want to shoot immediately. There you go, though. The shots are fired off in the end. RDNX once again in there to get those first hits on the opponents. But DTSO spots up 1 from above. He's the last remaining player, and he has a whole hell of a lot of work ahead of him.
I just like how Furia is constantly moving and rotating.
Yep.
It's like it's really hard for all the other teams to actually know where they might be or on which angle they would attack. And that makes them unpredictable and so strong right now. 11 kills.
And look at this circle. I mean, it could not be more open. I don't even think there's a single tree in this circle. It's really, really, really hard to play around. You can see they're realizing this too. We need to make it to that hilltop on the other side. Either that or the dip down here. But if you sit in the dip and you get spotted from above, that's going to be an extremely hard position to play from for you. They do push down. They're pushing on forward. I would say they probably should have cleared that top before they decided to commit to the valley, but they're confident in their decision. They know other fights are going on, and with them still being 3 guys up, only a couple of guys remaining, that should be them probably doing the math on expectations as to where the other people are.
Yeah, Z-Flux before on the Furious side, he was without any grenades, and obviously with all the fights that were going on already, a lot of utility was used, and it might not be available for the top 3 or top 2 later on. Didi Zoria said he's all alone there in the ditch, waiting. Rednex from Furia finds some, what's that, Boss Esports down there that he tried to take.
Furia
that was
has
Didi
all
Zora,
the
right?
info. I mean, Furia, they have all the info in the world. Ragnar's in getting a bit caught here. Sizzle does get 1, but Ragnar does go down in the end. Got 0 takes him out, but look at the damage that comes in return here. Sizzle gets the finish off on towards Vinny. There's still 1 more player to deal with, though. Got 0, pushes over the top, gets spotted out too.
Sizzlin will be alone. He is alone now. Ragnar died. No one was able to pick him up. Got 0. Might have a shot as Sizzlin, like I said, 3rd best player after yesterday. That's your moment to shine, buddy. 3 kills so far. That's everything. Your team wrecked up. But there's still a chance for you to do even more. I mean, down there, that's Boss Esports. They're also not really in the best shape with GotZero being hit a bit, and Snowman that he will need to be picked up. Chuck Pyra finds DT with that. We're down to the last 3 teams.
Just 3 teams remaining. Could be 2 in just a short moment, depending on which of these 2 teams will win this one. You can see Fury. At this point, they have to realize that they have got a complete pin down on where the last remaining players are, and they have full control. You can see Chuck Pyra starting to split off a bit more. They have the center control in the last circle. And, I mean, this is not going to be an easy one for either of these 2 teams, whoever wins it.
Yes, and he was lucky there. I thought that timing for the grenade might be completely off because GotZero was just about to see him. But no, it didn't happen. Now Ziston has to stand up. He gets GotZero. He might get a second one, but no! Snova says no, denied. And with that, Bitloft is eliminated on 3rd place once again. Like I said, they make sure that they score consistent no matter what.
Unless if they really do something wrong here, Fury should get this one with a 14-kill victory. But then again, Boss, they won that first game. We know they got what it takes, but it ain't gonna be easy. You can see Snowa wants to get the rest on up, but the circle's already pushing, and it's gonna force them out. They know it's just those 2 players remaining.
Oh, beautiful
There's
split.
no way Snowa is gonna get out of here alive.
Beautiful split and flanks. They're getting in. Ratnex now finally gets some open shots, but Snova turns around and takes him out. GotZero is out. Before that, we saw that. Sorry, that was ult kill feed basically. But it's Fury in the end taking the win. As you said, there had been 3 of them against 2 on the other side.
Yeah.
Beautiful split. 1 left, 1 right, 1 in the middle. With that, you can't do much. 13 kills on top of the 10 points. That's 23 in total.
Very impressive win. For sure. I mean, Fury, they've come in strong today. They've got themselves some good high kill games. We didn't see them that far up in the placement points, but these kills right here alongside a win, that's going to really toss them up then. Also, Boss, I mean, they get themselves a win today. Now they get themselves a 2nd place as well. Really, really, really good performances. And we talked about it yesterday. Sure, you can have all those good performances on a Rankle, but half the games are going to be played on Miramar. And you have to be able to play both.
Same tomorrow. 3 on Erangel, 3 on Miramar.
Exactly.
And it seems like Boss does that well, but Bitloft seems to be the best across all the maps so far. Furia was a bit trailing on Erangel, and Singularity and Mechanica had been up on top, but Bitloft had been on top in Erangel as well, so might be the best for them in day 3 when we play 3-3.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting to see tomorrow how exactly things are going to unfold. For those of you guys who've been living under a rock and don't know exactly how things go down here, sure, there's a big prize pool, but the most important thing to take into account here is the fact that 2 of these players, just 2 teams, will be making it into the GLL Grand Slam in the end of July next month. It's going to be really, really interesting to see in these early engagements. I mean, the first circle here just forced so many finds way too early.
I really thought we got a great circle for action. We saw long rotations, really very long ones. Unfortunately, we didn't saw how Singularity was being picked off, because that could have been an interesting one. We saw Fury pushing an entire hill that was owned by PUBG, and they were just... I think they did the most meters in terms of running.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, they were clearing the entire... I mean, they played it super smart, and that's what I love to see. Because one thing is you can say, oh, but they got lucky, they got circles, they got this and that. But, I mean, first of all, as you can see right here, their shots, they're on point. But also their awareness, constantly checking these positions, never leaving everything up for chance. And that's what we talk about. You got to really, really limit risks. You got to really, really prevent anything of the sort. And by constantly checking everything, well, I mean, they will know where they have their opponents. You can see in the end of things, they knew exactly where those last 2 teams were. And, well, they got their win with it.
Like I said, I really like just that they rotated that much, that they kept moving. And as I said, they had the information, but they were also their reading was just so spot on.
Yeah.
Every single time they had to take a decision, we questioned some of them, but for them it was always working. It seems like they were in the flow. They had the right rhythm and zone for them, and it just paid off in the end.
And also, not only did they get the info, but they used it. They were proactive with it. Are we doing something here? Are we backing off? Constantly making smart decisions back to back to back. Got them the win. But that was game number 3. There will be 2 more to be played today before we head into the final day tomorrow. So do me a favor, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
do pé nunca será em vão. Se correr pelo certo, não mudar a direção. Quem tá na contramão vai bater de frente. Se colhe o que planta, escolha bem a semente. Cultiva aquilo que acredita. Se tem fé é a chance, ela é infinita. Irrita quem só reclama e põe defeito. Todo errado se julga o ser humano perfeito. Mas perfeito ninguém é, nem nunca vai ser. Sem dar um migué, faz acontecer. Fazer por merecer é difícil quem faz. É mais fácil falar do que correr atrás. Se é capaz, mostra pra si mesmo primeiro. Depois conquista o mundo, mais nobre guerreiro. Você faz, esse é o conceito de quem assume a responsa e bate no peito, não basta ter fé, se não se movimenta, nem o teto se mantém sem o pilar que o sustenta. Tenta, até conseguir, se a fé não remove a montanha, ela te ajuda a subir, progredir, a cada passo dado, evoluir, resistir, o peso do fardo, o obrigado atrai tanta coisa pra agradecer, a vida dá um pensamento pra vencer, enquanto só reclama, só chama mais problema, deixa o mal fluido solto e o bom cheio de algema.
Great game for Fury and the previous one. They up until that game, they had the idea with getting kills. They were getting a lot of them. They just couldn't seem to find their way into those last couple of circles. But this time around, things were working for them. They took full control, and they got themselves a win with 13 kills to it as well.
Stepped up their survival game, that's for sure. And their rotation, their dynamic, their speed, basically changing position really helped. And then it's all about how you use your intel and decision taking.
Exactly.
Spot on.
Gotta be smart with it. Let's see how exactly these scores they unfolded in their previous game. 23 points for Fury, down below them, all the way down in 12th. They really got a whole lot of it. But Bitlov, we talked about them. Both Mechanica and Singularity went down with respectively 1 and 0 points, and they were sitting in second. That is going to mean that the gap between Singularity and the teams below them have just gotten massively smaller. Bitlov, 9 points in that game off of a good placement and some kills with it too. And overall, there you go. That's a tie for now, at least. Things can still go different, of course, but tied at 71 with Fury right on their heels.
Yeah, Fury really excelled here in Miramar. They closed the gap to the top teams. And Bitlov, like I said, not the highlight team, but definitely a team that makes sure that things that have to be done are done to actually be on top.
And we can already draw up things here, because we look at Black Dragons, for example, sitting at 11th right now. They got 33 kills already. They've been fragging out. They just cannot seem to say, like, again, 5 placement points. They got 33 of their 38 points off of kills alone. They need to maybe just say, you know, let's chill for a second. Let's not engage every fight we have a chance to, because I mean, as nice as these kill points are, I mean, it just makes it that much easier when you get the placement points to back it off too.
Definitely, them being that far down the leaderboard is not because they're not hitting enemies.
Oh no, it's just because there are too many enemies.
Yeah, it's like definitely not 33. That it's not not the best, but it is among the top.
It's way up there. Let's put it at that. I mean, that's just that's the decision making you do, and that's how I mean, at least in the Western scene in general, when we're talking EU, we're talking NA, we tend to see teams that do the best to have that aggressive mode, but as a switch. Like they can go passive, and then they can do the click when they just start fragging out. And they normally tend to turn on that switch around circle 4, circle 5. So if you can avoid fights early, because normally, I mean, and again, with the level of play that we see here, when you go in a solid 4v4 fight, more often than not, I mean, if you survive with 4 guys alive, either you did something extremely well, the other guys did something really wrong, or you were really, really lucky. More often than not, you'll lose 1 or maybe even 2 players in pretty much every single engagement you take there, right? Because it's early, everyone's full HP, everyone's full durability in the vest, with all the utility in the world. So if you can wait with that for a couple of circles, then odds are you'll be heading into a team that has already been in that fight, and you'll be more often than not in a 4v3, potentially a 4v2, and that's when you can really start harvesting some of these kills, because that's when you will not be losing players every single fight you take.
Now that we're in Game 4 on day 2, I wonder if that's a time now where the teams that are slightly in the middle consider changing their game plan, consider changing pace, changing locations, and try to be either more aggressive or, in terms of Black Dragon Esports, being more passive. Because there's not much left. It's this game today and another one. Yeah, and then there's day 3.
Yep, the last game was the halfway point. Previous game was the halfway point. So if any team reaches 142 points, that means that they've doubled up what they've done up until now. But we'll see, of course, if that's going to happen or not. 63 people on the server. So one guy decided not to join, or girl, sorry, decided not to join forces with his or her team. It's unfortunate to see, of course. And once again, Eastern Plane. I mean, I like the Crusaders, but they just tend to not get the circles over towards Montenegro. And again, with this plane and with this circle here, why would they want to drive all the way up to Montenegro to just push in? They are already in a good spot. One guy that's not in the best of spots, though, is Junkush. And with a vehicle rolling back down the hill, my guess is...
I was just wondering, is that vehicle trying to troll him?
My guess is that he accidentally pressed a button that activates the catapult seat. And then,
Probably.
then
It is the car out of Too Fast, Too Furious, right? Where he's having the ejection seat later on. It's even the same seats.
I only know ejection seats from James Bond movies, and that's Aston Martin DB5. So
that's definitely not the car, but in Too Fast, Too Furious later on, they
I only saw the first one. So I don't know.
So you saw the best one. So.
That's what I stopped after that.
Yeah, we don't need to argue about that. But I think it was a similar car when they eject him later on.
Could be.
Be next to the water before they jump on a boat. With the car, obviously.
Oh, yeah. I actually do think I know what you're talking about. That could be.
I think it was this car. I think it was this car.
A Mirado.
So Junkush probably had that mod installed.
Oh, yeah.
The Too Fast, Too Furious mod.
The best mod to have, though, is the teammate mod. And that is indeed what he has activated there. Low bleeding left, but he does manage to get back up on his feet. The only thing is here, though, that, I mean, for Prone Tag him, they got a good game last game. But this time around, DC saw he just spent a solid minute driving up there, getting him healed up, going back to loot on. And his teammate, he has yet to pick up his first item. And we're 3 minutes into the game now. Teams are already starting to consider their rotations. You see Harold from Bitloft, he's already starting to maneuver around, trying to find a center spot to take. And there are not a lot of spots to play center here. So if you are a team like Prone and Tag him, and you have a valid chance of going center early, you just lost that because one of your players, well, I don't know exactly how it went down, but odds are that his fingers were a little too big there.
Could be. We will not find out today, I guess. But BLT Harold, as you said, he's already on the run. Basically, he's trying to scout and look for the right place for his team to be so they can dominate center circle. Not going to happen for PUBG, so it's not the same as their King of the Hill move in the last game because they're far up north. That's the same for Singularity. At least they don't need to walk that far this time to actually get into the circle. And Lawrence hit, Roggy, RDS, they're here at the coast, having a beautiful look. The water, and sometimes they will probably turn around and think about war.
Yeah, gotta keep war in mind when you play PUBG. That's just how it is. Loki will be making his rotation on forwards, slowly making their way down and around Graveyard. One little compound at the time. Scout on forward. He is on his own, of course, so you can never go too aggressive. Singularity, they do their split on the eastern side of Hacienda. And, well, I mean, they got all the info they need here. That's one checkpoint guaranteed. And now he can send his teammates down that direction.
Just imagine in real life we would all drive like we would do in PUBG.
I think people would die.
Always crashing.
A lot of people would die.
Every single time you want to say hi to a friend and you drive to his place, you just crash your car right
I
there,
have like the world's biggest carpenting industry that single-handedly focuses on fences.
Yeah.
I would be the richest man in the world. Reminds me of that YouTube video about the NPCs in GTA. How they always get their car stolen. Every time they get a new car, it gets stolen by
Yeah,
some random
insurance
guy.
must be crazy for them. That's true.
They always
It's
get
really
their car
true.
stolen by random people. They just throw them out of the vehicles. That's the same thing here. If
And you
you're in
never
the,
hear it in the radio.
Yeah, exactly. It's never reported
It's never
anywhere.
like our city is really weird because we had 150,000 cars stolen in the last 64 hours or something like this. Never
Something's
happened.
weird. Something's off in this city.
But people still love to live there. I mean, it's probably the
Yeah.
same like the real Los Angeles.
Yeah, maybe. Mechanic out there getting their rotation game going too. And again, we talked about it just before, how these circles just do not provide for a lot to go for, especially if you want to be one of those center teams. Of course, it is Circle 1. There's plenty of room. I think XX must have heard the vehicles come in there from Furious. So he knows that they're down there. But do you really want to, first of all, reveal your position to a team that's already inside? Maybe they will if they get a good shot up and a good chance
swag.
up. But they've been spotted from far away, and this is Miramar for you. Spend too much time on those hilltops silhouetting around, and teams will indeed start shooting you away.
It's easy to get spotted up there. Loki's taking some shots as well.
Panda is there with him to assist, so they're going to
Yeah.
scare off teams. Don't want to let them come further. Loki's actually settled for the compound here. I would... Okay, it's a pretty decent decision making. They could split more and send a guy. You can see just the roof of the shack up the hill there. They would get a huge overview of everything from that position. So maybe send one guy up there or two guys up there, and then keep two guys down in the compound. You can have a good good split in that regard. Oh, that snake could be good.
Zor sending a
This snake
grenade,
could
and that
be
bounces off
good.
Loki. Oh, over Noah. I mean, he was basically laying right below that grenade.
Yeah. And that's where these small dips and divots can really be scary, because sure, they grant you a lot of cover from both angles, but they also become like, you know, kind of just magnets for nades because they bound off the sides. And DT Soul, you gotta have some more nades on your side,
Yeah,
because you're in a 1v4.
I think you picked a fight that's a bit like, you know, a bit too much to a bite too much to swallow for him.
Yeah,
because there's everyone from Boss Esports right now.
he
DT
does
Zor
have
is still alone.
He does have Necro AQN nearby, but right now he's by himself. He spots out one, but he got a disengage. You can see the guys are down in the compound, and he needs help, and he needs it desperately. And it does come. Noah does get taken down. Singularity on the western side have a chance in third party, but they're not committing to it just yet.
Yeah, it seems like DT Zor doesn't want to give up. They're not really committed to this. Necro, as he said, he closed the gap. He's coming closer. They dropped Noah. So that's a first step in the right direction for them. But the rest of the squad is just not around. And that will make it so hard because Boss Esports is in full force. All the grenades now by Necro not really going in the right direction. That
so
one
many
could,
of them.
that could go in the right direction.
Oh, it does too. The finish off, and they're not coming into Snowa, and that should be the call for them to potentially push on forward on this one.
Yeah, that was 2 kills. That single grenade did really help. They had just to clean up a bit. There's a Vin, FPS all alone now for a boss. As Got Zero also falls to DT Zor. We just need to kill him, but they know there's probably no one close yet. Vin is on the run.
Boss had a win today and a really, really good third place finish off as well. And this game is just not going the way they would have wanted to. They had the idea with the 4v1 push. They realized that it was just one guy left alone, but they simply spent too much time trying to pinpoint him. I mean, you got to give it to the defending player. He really bought himself as much time as he could. And fortunately, the cavalry arrived just in time.
Yeah, Cavalry in this case was only one teammate, so still a very impressive defense there. They took out 2, basically, 3 already, because Vin is definitely alone now. So 3 from Boss Esports. Yeah, that is a good start. I mean, we're below 10 minutes.
I like the idea that Crusaders rotate up 2 months on Able. When they're
right into
now they're
PUBG.
done looting. Oh, Bob. That's going to be one player gone down. It's the last player too, waiting for those out of the vehicles to drive on past. It's going to secure one. But no, the idea for them rotating up here is that they normally loot here. So they know all the rotation paths from here. So even though they didn't loot here now, they rotate through that way anyway. So they're in in more familiar territory. But they should probably just stay south because
Home court advantage.
they would have been closer had they just known. Everyone up north, though, you can see that previous circle center forced a little further north, of course, because of Los Leones.
Look at the
All
Space Monkeys. They came from far up north.
They're rotating around the side. They did that last game too.
Yeah, it's similar to what Singularity did on the
hug
previous
the side,
one.
exactly. Hug the side. It makes perfect sense too. But Singularity, they decided to go straight south this time around, and they're gonna be they have some decisions to make here. Do they want to cross through this crater? Seems like Loki has already made that push on through. But the teammates, do they want to take that same run through Loki? We do know he has a bike. He was the scout driving forward previously. or earlier in the game. But what can he secure for his team?
I'm just afraid for Singularity if they run into Vinny FPS there. Yep, park that in there. So it's way easier to clean your bike if you can take it back home. Mufasa got also on rotation. He passed low kicks.
Mufasa.
They're not really getting into any fight. Look at that empty space here. How much space is available for teams?
Yeah, but look at how many of these compounds are spots you don't really want to go to unless if you're absolutely forced to. I mean, the compounds themselves are great. Many of these buildings are pretty similar. Oh, Vinny, he knows they're up there. I don't think that minivan is holy. Okay, Andy, that's a kill.
The end.
That's a kill.
Yep.
I can respect that. But what I was gonna say is these compounds, as good as they are, I mean, technically, as far as the design of them and whatnot, it's just positions around Los Leones. You do not want to be sitting here. There's no way you can prevent for teams to get up close to you, and you don't want to let anyone be around you. If you could have a permanent perimeter of at least 150 meters to everyone, that would be absolutely amazing, because you'd have the time to prep should they decide to clash in towards you. And when you're in the city, your neighbors are normally right next door, right? And you just don't want to have that happen.
Necro kills Necro.
Blown up in a vehicle.
Yep. That is unfortunate for them after the great fight they had against Boss Esports. Now it's down to Junkosh and Reliance, or Relance.
Yeah,
Relance. As they're alone. At least they're sitting on the current lead in kill tracker with 3 kills, as you can see on the left. Brazilian Crusaders with 1, but also in full force. FK team also on 1. Everyone else not really stepped into this game yet, and that is Necro.
That's a dead person.
But
he's
Necro.
fixing his car. I can see why.
Okay. It was time for a new exhaust system.
I think also maybe
3-inch.
Yeah, and new wheels, I think. And
Free flow, yeah.
Probably also
Tires, I would say.
take out the fire, maybe.
No, the fire is
in the
fine.
hood. Oh, that was part of the vinyl.
That was vinyl. It was not real, man. That was just really well done.
It's like holographic vinyls. That's the new thing. That's
yeah.
the new thing.
You know that you can have spinners that basically have
Yeah,
LEDs
exactly.
and then show text,
so
right? That is similar. That's the next step.
On the hood, on the grill of the car. That's pretty.
That's the next step.
Yeah. It's got to be a little annoying when you're driving.
We show all the trends today. We talk about movies.
Trend setting.
We show you exactly how you should modify your car for 2020 season, since we're nearly done with 2019 already.
2020, it's going to be the year of holographic grills. Yep, I can feel it already. Crusaders, they decided to come in on the southern side, and this time around the circle does go in their direction. But now, how do you play on this one? The entire area, from pretty much Black Dragons down towards where MBG is really, really open and hard to play around. You can see Crusaders here. Rusty is crashing on forward. He doesn't have his teams with him at all, and if they commit to this building, they don't. Because he could probably got himself a kill there had he not starting shooting so early. He was only in a position to get off 6 shots. That could have been him potentially getting a kill had he held that fire just for a half second longer.
Yeah, Rusty Zero being lucky, but he will run into BLT up next. So it's not like his life will get any easier. Panda finds a Burke. So it's another one dropped of
That's
the
an important knock,
Dragons.
too. Important knock, because he was the front-running player for Singularity in this case. And that's going to be Black Dragons forced to spend time resting now, and that's going to allow for them to crash on forwards. Kozasks that spot out the remaining players from Crusaders. Mini in hand now, trying to do the damage needed, but not going to happen.
I just wonder if the Space Monkeys kind of feel left out. They're still rotating.
Well, I mean,
so it'll take a while.
Part of their rotation is getting into the circle late, so it's not like they're expecting to be there. Now, Crusaders, though, did pull up on Bitlove's compound. As you can see, they realized he was a solo player, and now he's going to get caught off. Ooh, that nade is right on the money, and he rolls straight into Andy.
And he got lucky there. So he was jumping in the window right in front of his rifle, as he said. So that's another kill for the Brazilian Crusaders, putting them up to 2. Poma finds H11 Jr. So the Bad Dragons, the Black Dragons. The Bad Dragons. The Black Dragons under a bit of pressure here. They still 4, but who knows for how much longer. Singularity without a kill so far. They say they're really struggling getting any points. Not just placement, also kills.
They've been rather unfortunate. The first game, they actually got 6 kills with them, but they didn't get Pom connected. So there were just 3 players from the very start of things. Now Ripper, you can see he crossed on over. He utilized the time that he knew he had with the knock coming in, but his teammates aren't just there yet. They want to secure yourself a spot on the other side. That's all smart, but leave the other guys over. Shoot that next circle hard shift north. It's been like 3 hard shifts in a row now. And, well, I mean, we know with 1 hard shift, a lot more tend to come that way. So Ribbo, he's chilling for now. He has a position for his team to come up to him should they decide to at some point. But for now, we'll just wait for another 30 seconds and see where the circle will take us.
Yeah, Vinny from Boss Esports, he also decided to just stay outside of the circle, far up north. There's no one with him so far. Might get lucky and it shifts in his direction. You said that we had hard shifts already. If we get north one, that falls into the hand of Singularity, of Black Dragons, and Boss Esports.
The only place we can get this circle where it's going to be somewhat playable for the majority is going to be east. You can see it right here. It's already full on condensed, but because there's so many compounds, so many containers around, you can fit in quite a few more teams if you absolutely just need to. But I think that circle went north. I'm pretty sure that circle just went north because we cannot at all see it on the minimap. Yep, up north we go, and up to Yikes we go as well, because there's not a lot to play from. And you can see where Herald is right now. If they decide to stay there, there's a huge, huge dip and ridgeline down. They will have the vision of all these teams rotating in towards them.
And we see Panda, he's already on the way. The same for STDC. It's running against the time, basically, now. Everyone wants to be the first there, while Pronet gets another Furia player, but only a drop for Safari. Chuck Pilara is moving in right next to Blue. You see that he's coming around the circle, but nope, not going to work for him. Relance is taking him out, and it seems like Furia is dropping left and right now.
Should we remind Pira that he had 4 nades? And he knew exactly where his opponents were?
Yeah, but they want to do it manual way. Yeah. I mean,
you know, that's fair. They're still denying the nade.
There's still 4. Look at this.
Yeah, easy peasy. A little scary, though. But but it worked out in the end. Crusaders, they left the position they had before, made their run on further up. They did leave, actually, Psychopada and one of the other guys in the compound down south. And now the knock comes in from Rossi as well. It seems like they want to come into it here. Mechanica, under pressure now.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the previous game, the Brazilian Crusaders might know that Mechanica is currently not up to the performance they showed before, and they're really going for it right now. X6, they basically dropped the strongest player, looking at yesterday, which is X6. And they took the chance, but X is back already, so he will met up. There's a lot of grenades still coming in. Logan forced to Cossacks. That's Malvinas Gaming versus PG.
The thing is, right now, they committed to this fight with all 4 players, which makes sense, but they're allowing, as you can see right now as well, for all these other players to rotate around them. Potentially, if they'd spend too much time down here not being able to take out Mechanica, that could be them losing the spot they had before, and as you can see now as well, Rasper, they all have to make the run on back up the hill. They realize this, and I like the immediate reaction to it as well.
They definitely gave up their position,
You cannot over-aggress here. You cannot over-aggress in this area of the map.
Lauren Sid is out. Captain Boblo. He took him out and put another kill on his map. Covert finds Flakes, that's FK versus FG. And it seems like the Space Monkeys are under a bit of pressure here by Puck B. Hypow is giving it everything to get another kill and get Capron. They downed him already, but they couldn't flush him out yet. That will probably happen soon, I thought. There's the grenade.
He's just on the other side.
Boom.
Malvinas, they're out on down south. I mean, sorry, and Puck B, they're being pressured by quite a margin.
They picked.
I don't think they know that Hippo's in there, and he doesn't know that they're there either. There you go. Finally, he spots them out. That's going to be 1 knock. That's going to be 2, and that's going to be the 3rd coming in there as well. The finish off comes into Space Monkeys, but there's a lot more fights happening just now. The circle is closing in, and you can see from Mechanica they're completely cornered down here by the shack.
I was so surprised. I thought I see it wrong. In the background, they were resing someone.
Yeah.
Well, the Hypo was just sitting there. Well, he was
he didn't know
looking out the window early enough to get the kills. Furion, a bit of problems here. Chikitin is chipping in some damage here, but they fight back and they get Chikitin down. Also, Tenet falls. That seems like FG is out. Yes, they're eliminated. And Furia just locks onto FK immediately right after, because that is a huge fight right now. Mufasa finds Z-Flux. Not enough damage done yet. Wavy with the grenade. Throwing it over. That looks good. Even Blue is there. And was it Blue before? No. It was actually the shots before they killed him.
It was just Death that killed him.
Death killed him?
Death.
Death is just walking around killing people?
Yes,
all right.
It happened. And it happened to him there as well. And Furia, despite getting themselves a good win in the previous one, they'll be falling short this time around. They did manage to get 5 kills, though. So even though they don't get placement points, it's still a solid performance coming out of them. And that's what we keep saying. When you have those rough games going your way, just don't have 0-point games. You might as well have been out in the lobby, right? Get those 2 kills, get those 3. If you can get all the way up to 5 in a game where this one, I mean, Circles went against them. That's a rough game for them here. And they still get 5 points. That's a really good performance.
Yeah, they're not losing too much. Obviously,
Not at all.
They're a bit sad that Bitloft is still in, so the typical ones are in, and especially Singularity is still with us.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that just let it. I mean, the other guys. Oh my lord, that's a good
Rusty
headshot. Holy cow!
That was a quick one.
That was I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty impressive. They're fragging out, and that's the thing. I mean, you can never take Brazilian Crusaders for granted. Sure, they might have come off to a rough start, but they can land these kinds of shots, and there's just... I mean, how do you deal with it? Like, as a player, you always look to improve, and you want to look at how you can do things differently. What do you say here to say, well, I just completely freaking wrecked? What's the takeaway from that? He wrecked me, good shot, what could I do? Nothing. Sometimes you just gotta sit down and applaud and be like, you know what? You were the better man in this moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he only lifted his head for what?
That's
half
what
a
I'm saying.
second?
Split
Half a
second.
second,
Just tapped him instantly.
And that's it. And he wasn't even ready for that shot.
Nope. And now Rusty, as much as we praise him, he does go down in return. And you can see here from below comes Malvinas. They're pushing up the hill, and multiple teams are starting to shoot in their direction. Einkel does get the knock off in return. That's going to be Andy taken down. And oh my lord, they're within nade range now too.
Einkel found another Brazilian Crusaders player, and that helps them out. They're obviously now pushing, as you said. Malvinas really wants to be on the move right now. Rusty Zero falls to Mechanicus. They also get involved from the other side. So they are not in a good spot. BRC, look at this. They got two teams in front of them. But if Malvinas moves in even further, BLT might have a better shot.
The thing is, we talked about it just before, and you can see the result of it right here. You need to keep your opponents at bay. You cannot let them get this close to you. They couldn't finish the fight with Mechanica. They couldn't take out the guys from Malvinas before they crossed over, and now they're completely pinned in a pot of death, pretty much, where, well, I mean, the only end result of this would most likely be Sigabata and Rasper going down, and that could again be without placement points.
Yeah, we're still up with 19.
They do have 7 kills, of course, so that's all good, but yet to get any placement points there.
Kovat trying to quick look around if he can actually finish it off there. Does he overlook? There's someone in between, right?
He knows they're over there.
There's Rocky.
Yeah, you have Roger Mouse thrown in the middle of things.
Oh, Ali still missing. That is Psychopata. He's still in there in the smoke. Everyone is trying.
They know he's in there too.
Look at this. Yeah, everyone knows. No, that is a dead body already.
Is this where you nade yourself somehow? Because, I mean, you don't get out of this smoke.
Yeah, like
there's
the smoke is
no
running
way
out
you get out of this smoke.
at one point, and then yep.
He got stolen! He got stolen!
Oh no, it was Rocky from the other side.
Wow!
He's like, man, if you guys can't handle that while standing 5 meters next to him, let me have a shot from
They
here.
were waiting for the longest of time. They were really being patient. I respect them too, because they did not want to lose a player potentially in trying to push that smoke. They knew he was in there, but they didn't want to lose a player.
Oh,
and here
Rocky.
comes Raji. He's stealing it from
Ice
behind.
cold.
Wow! And he's gonna die because of it too.
Yeah, that's the payback, basically. I liked how he did it. No one.
That's amazing.
I wanted to say how longer Psychopath stays there, the higher the risk for BRC. But I didn't have the risk of stealing in mind when I wanted to say this.
Oh, Black Dragons, they're going to be under pressure. FK, they've pushed on towards their compound. Multiple shots fired. And it's going to be knocks coming in on both sides here. Kill Demo trying to make the run on down from the compound. You see nades coming in from other teams now as well.
Oh, Mufasa fell, so that is all of FK down, which means it gives a chance to Kill Demo to pick up his teammate. Feiskas dies to Handy Who, and Ragnar finds FLG again. Ragnar really in a good shape here on game 4, but Berg is out, FLG is out, and Kill Demo got dropped in the end before he was able to pick up his teammate.
H11, this guy, he just naded his 2 teammates and killed one guy and knocked the other.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's how you make
happened.
friends.
That's the thing that happened. Mid-fight, let me just take up 2 of my teammates.
That's the moment back in the days where you will get deleted on ICQ now.
We have to be quiet now because Vinny's...
Okay.
Now it's not stinging anymore, so what you gonna do here, buddy? We really tried to help you. We really tried to give him everything he had.
Really?
But Panda was like, no.
Maybe we were too late.
Oh, yeah. We were making too much noise.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kel Demo also being killed, not just in a demo, but in the real game. Handy Who was the one striking that blow.
Who?
And Handy Who.
Oh. It's getting too late for us. It's getting too late for us.
Took me a second too long. Black Dragons, they're only with 1 player in this game. BLT, once again, still with us. These guys just know how to survive and play this game. Singularity, also still in. 1 kill so far and in the points.
The biggest takeaway for me right now with this one is, though, everybody is around 50 meters from the edge of the circle right now. Nobody wants to be in the center because it is scary open. You can see Bitlov. They're just waiting for that circle to pop. YOLO! Where are we going here? This one is going to be hard. Now you're inside the circle. When are you going to stop your vehicles, though? There's a shack. There's a shack.
I wondered if they wanted to stop there, but they didn't. But what was the TV show with the red American car, and they were jumping around, and they had like a blonde girl as
All
their...
of them?
No.
Red American car with blonde girl. That's
No,
all of the American
No,
movies.
all of it. No, it had like a flag, a Southern State flag on the roof.
Any movie that
No,
Michael Bay directed?
It was even... Yeah, but later on it was... there was a new one of that. It was a TV series before, and then it became a movie later on in the modern version.
I am lost.
I know exactly that when my dad is currently watching, he'll probably write me a WhatsApp message right now
there you go.
telling me what
The
it is.
lifeline.
Yeah, but there's delay.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Handy Who does go down. Unfortunately, FK team are eliminated. Not a whole lot more they can do. Are you thinking Dukes of Hazzard?
Dukes of Hazzard, that's it.
I was
Because he
thinking,
was jumping
is
around with that car.
I was trying to put everything together that you said there. It's like, how in the
You
hell
did
does
well
that make
there.
sense?
We
Yeah.
can play that game where you have to describe a movie badly with 2 sentences.
You did that, and I won.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm absolutely God in that. It seems Einkel, he tries to get rid of the last one over inside of Black Dragon Esports, and it works with a bit of help. This teammate, Kazakhs, getting
Malvinas.
another kill. Oh, up to 6 already.
Malvinas, they got the majority of their kills early on. It's actually kind of interesting. Kazakhs, they spotted out Pes. Oh, my lord. From landing a really good one to missing a, not easy one, obviously, but a one that probably could have been hit. And all this engagement happening up here allowed for Singularity to push it up. We talked about them. 1 game in the previous one, 0 in the one before. A rough game in the one previous to that. Sure, they got 6 kills, but 1 player not even connecting. And now 4 guys alive. I'm not even sure they don't have any kills yet. Do they have 1 kill? 1 kill, but this is where they can come in and start fracking on towards these last remaining players.
That small house has 2 kills in it.
No nades
and
for
his
Einkel, though.
teammate, yeah.
He even
Nothing on
he saw the suppressor through the wall.
Oh, and Einkel has nothing with him. That is so frustrating right now. He sees the cars in front of it. Oh, Ribbo. He will have an easy one onto Einkel. And he gets him. That's drowned. But he has to flush him out before someone steals that kill. He now knows that Slizen and Ragnar are in that building, I would say, because he saw them fighting.
Ribbox is the only player that Singularity has sent up forward. So he really needs to stay alive right now. If he goes down, Singularity will have to send 1 more, and he pushes back. I like the idea. No, I have to say that. He
but
runs
with
back
that, they're
around.
not getting the point of... Oh, they might get it?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the good job.
Rule makes sure that he finishes before he leaves, but now... Oh, Malvinas is really pushing onto Susan and Ragnar. Ragnar already dropped. There's only 1 BLT player alive in that small house, and everyone... Wow, Ribbo is not giving up. Did he saw the...
No, he didn't see him. He didn't see him. Constance is still down there. And there are players from STDC pushing around the other side now too. You see the shots coming in from behind. STDC already has 1 second place this game. Constance starts to go down now. They already have 1 second place. And look at the spray down coming in from Reebok. So much damage applied, but Ali somehow stays alive. And this is just Singularity going full cleanup duty. Everything is Singularity, and there's just 1 player left remaining now.
Oh, we said they only had 1 kill so far. Now they're sitting on 6.
Oh, they didn't get the rest up.
Poma, everyone was helping out, but BLT, they're still alive. Ragnar's still alive. Sizzler's still alive. Poma finishes off Slizzler. Is that actually the win for them?
Singularity had 1 kill. Singularity had 1 kill.
They basically only
about
have
40
2
seconds ago.
2 attacks.
They had 1 kill 40 seconds ago, and they finish off with 9. Full harvest vacuum cleaning mode on that end game, and they absolutely slaughtered all of them.
I would say that was, these automatic robots that clean your house. That's what Singularity did. They were like, you know what? You guys can play around 25 minutes. We don't care. It's like it's the last minute that decides.
I mean,
they came in.
This is what you can do. This is what you can do when you keep your 4 players alive. And then you engage. Sure, you won't get those 25 kill games or anything like super out of the ordinary. You won't get those points, but you can easily get up to and close to 10 kills if you have like 1 or 2 kills early, and then you just stay alive, chill, don't engage fights. You will get the placement points, and you will be able to get kills because you have the numbers.
Compared to what we saw from them before, this time it was Ribbo though. I think his movement around that 1
really
smoke
smart.
on that hill, he wasn't dying. He was making sure that he gets the 1 kill that started all of this, and he was constantly moving around that 1 smoke. I mean, they got flanked. Even that didn't hit them at all. And that was really the entry to this killing streak they had in the end.
Use the terrain to your advantage. I keep saying it, and it's even more of a factor on Miramar than it is on Wrangle, because there's so many ways you can make smart plays. This was their first kill with 16 players left alive. Keep themselves as 4. There were 12 potential kills up, and they got 9 of them in the end of things.
And here we see that once again, that's the one I was talking about. River really, he was always moving around that small hill. There was a smoke to his left. And then Poma, there, I have to say, communication worked flawless on Singularity's side. How he was making sure that Poma was already ready for the BLT guys to step out. They cleaned it up. Wow. But also, now that we focus on Singularity, it was once again BLT being still in there, which means they once again scored very strong.
And also, I mean, it goes way back to the start. Their rotations from the start, the way they send up low-key, one position up, didn't get the circle, go further. One position up, didn't get the circle, go further. They played it smart from start to finish, and they got them the win with 9 kills and a full sweep in the end of things. Guys, that was game number 4. One more match to be shown for you guys. Today we'll be taking a short break, and then we'll be back and ready with the final one. So do me a favor, stick around, and we'll be right back.
I've been feeling like a man out of time. I've been staring into space to get in tune. I've been waiting for the sand to fall behind. I've been looking for a face inside the moon. I've been looking for a faith to lead the faithless. Caught slipping trying to catch the speed of light. Every time I try to make a way out of my lateness, pulled over, got somebody reading me right. Cause we've been chasing after hours, counting minutes second hand, spending all of our tomorrows trying to come up with a plan. We don't call up information cause they don't know what we saying. No one knows, no one knows. We all woke up in the upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Falling overboard, catch me off the side. Or maybe you just missed it. When you close your eyes, life goes in an instant. One hell of a ride. If you don't go for fiction, I'll get caught up in the lies while you was chasing after hours, counting minutes second hand, spending all of our tomorrows trying to come up with a plan. We don't call up information cause they don't know what we saying. No one knows, no one knows. We all woke up in the upside down, turning inside out like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. Focus, false starts like roll it in the dark like stutter steps last breath. Staring in the void, feeling paranoid, thinking if you fall, you won't make a noise. Off of opioid, man, you got a droid, at least you got a phone. Fucking humanoid, why you xenophobe? Why you so annoyed? Why you tripping out? Who made you devout? Why we go this route? Can you do without? If you look within, here we go again. Hands inside the vehicle, you mad cause it's autonomous. You thinking you anonymous, but we upside down, turning inside out, like we've all been led astray. We've been standing on the outside in, trying to find our friends, like we're all just castaways. Feel like we've been missing out. 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 Okay.
Vai na fé, vai atrás do que você quer. Quem tá na missão sabe bem o que é. Gasta a sola do pé, nunca será em vão. Se correr pelo certo, não muda a direção. Quem tá na contramão vai bater de frente. Se colhe o que planta, escolha bem a semente. Cultiva aquilo que acredita. Se tem fé é a chance, ela é infinita. Irrita quem só reclama e por defeito. Todo errado se julga o ser humano perfeito. Mas perfeito ninguém é, nem nunca vai ser. Sem dar um migué, faz acontecer. Fazer por merecer é difícil quem faz. É mais fácil falar do que correr atrás. Se é capaz, mostra pra si mesmo primeiro. Depois conquista o mundo, mais nobre guerreiro. Você pode, você faz. Esse é o conceito de quem assume a responsa e bate no peito. Não basta ter fé, se não se movimenta, nem o teto se mantém sem o pilar que o sustenta. Tenta, tenta, até conseguir. Se a fé não remove a montanha, ela te ajuda a subir, progredir. A cada passo dado, evoluir, resistir o peso do fardo. O obrigado atrai tanta coisa pra agradecer. A vida dá um pensamento pra vencer. Enquanto só reclama, só chama mais problema. Deixa o mal fluido solto e o bom cheio de algema.
One more game left to finish off the second of 3 days of games. We were waiting. Where is Singularity? When is Singularity gonna wake up? Where are they? Well, there they were. We saw 40 seconds of them, and in that time span, they got more kills than anyone else on the server, and also a win. That's pretty damn impressive.
Was it 9 the highest skill count as well?
I think it's in the game, yeah.
I was wondering. I saw 6 in between. Could be. You could be right. I'm absolutely.
Let's check.
Going with that.
Let's check if I was
Let's have a
right.
look.
Yes, they were.
Yep, you're absolutely correct.
They got as many kills as anyone in the group. Oh, FK tied them, but they got as many kills as FK within, realistically, a minute and a half.
That is efficiency.
It is.
You don't need to work 27 minutes if you can do everything in just 40 seconds.
It's yeah. That's wasn't it? What's his name? Bill Gates who said, "I'll hire the lazy guy because he finds a way to get the job done fast." Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, indeed, impressive plays, 19 kills and a win for Singularity. And that makes up for it because they honestly, coming into today, they had a huge lead. And they even got more of it with the 6-kill game they had early on. And now, well, they're back up in first place with 11 kills to it. Great game for them. And look at the lead they got in kills as well. 57 down to 40 in second.
All strategy. They waited until someone tied with them. And then they were like, guys, we really need to get back to the game now. Can you quickly do this? Done. There they are. 90 points, as you said. 79 for Bitloft. Once again, a team that was able to stay alive for so long. It's just really, when it comes to surviving, moving around, and making sure that they're still alive in the end, they do an absolutely amazing.
To me, Singularity in this game did, I mean, now we didn't get to see a whole lot of action from them. It was mainly rotation-based. But to me, they did here what we saw Furia do in game number 3. In game number 2, I believe that was.
Quick on the feet.
I mean, they rotate well, and they understand the terrain, and they understand not only to get information, but how to use it. Sure, you can say there's a guy over there, there's a guy over there. It's all good to know, but if you don't know how to move accordingly and sort of work with the info that you have, it's not really going to provide you a whole lot other than, well, we know where they are. If you can position yourself in the correct ways to sort of avoid certain angles and, well, spot other angles, then you're not going to get anything from it. But they sure knew exactly how to work with it.
It worked out for them. We saw that they won the round, but that also means still everything open now for Game 5 because now we had so many different teams showing us impressive performances, key plays, really like clutch moments. I can't just wait to get Game 5 underway. So I really think that now everyone's dialed in, and if everyone wants to basically have 3 or 4 teams that could end the day on top of the leaderboard. And you always want to go to bed, basically, or start your day with being aware that you're definitely leading going into the next day.
Also, you cannot be Singularity and go out early now. They have had 1 point across 2 games. Imagine those games having been maybe not 9-kill wins, but just something decent. That would have been them being skyrocketed ahead of everyone else right now.
They could be at 100 points nearly.
They could. I mean, but the thing is, with this next game coming up, if they go down early again, like with maybe 1, 2, or 3 points, then you can sort of divide it over and say, how many points did you get? Sure, you got that 9-kill win, but how many points did you get over a 5-game period today? And then all of a sudden, there'll be other teams that's going to surpass them.
It's definitely a threat they're running into, and the risk they are absolutely aware. I'm pretty sure about that. So it just makes this Game 5 even crazier.
Indeed.
Because now everyone has that shot at the lead before going into day 3, and we know it's about all that money that's on the line and the 2 tickets for GLL Grand Slam. That they all want to go there. We know that.
Yeah, that would make no sense for these teams to say, you know what? I think I'm gonna pass on that whole grand final.
Thanks for the invitation, but no.
Can you just take the team that came below us? We don't really want to go to the finals. That would be a new thing for me. This plane probably the most fair you'll ever see on Miramar, considering it's a bit further west, but there's a lot of water on the east, so it doesn't really matter. Everyone should be able to go where they want to go. Crusaders, they'll be going back up towards Monte Nuevo. We got 63 people once again on this server. Most of them are in. One guy decided not to join us. Furia, they'll be going up towards El Pozo, get themselves looted up there, and then, well, I mean, at least for now, everyone's split out accordingly. No one's in the trajectory, in the line of sight of opponents, and everyone should be able to go where they want, rather unharmed.
Necro still far up high, still hanging out there.
He's the UAV.
He beep. Beep. You need to have a kill streak first.
Oh, they do. They just like take them from one game to another.
Ah, all right.
They didn't use it last game.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he got his kill streak last game. In the early game, when they took out the entirety of... I forgot what team it was. Yeah, so he did get his kill streak early last game.
Then it's totally fine that they now use it.
But it didn't last him very long, and also he used it in the looting phase, so he didn't get a whole lot of info from it. But nonetheless, with a fair plane comes at least distance-wise, a fair circle. Of course, this one can still end up being brutal with plenty of hard shifts and rough terrains to finish off the game. And we know Miramar, no matter how fair it seems, it can always turn out to be a rough one. But for now, at least, everything should be accessible for the majority of teams, and rotations should be doable as well. So it's going to be...
Do you think they want to build an esports arena up there? Look at the round-shaped building.
Oh, no, it's I'm pretty sure that's like a bull ring.
Yeah, maybe they now want to transfer that into an esports arena.
Yeah.
And this is probably the biggest
the car
bathroom
thing.
I've ever seen.
Yep. I think it's for cars, though. Or bikes. You know, where they go in circles.
Oh, they're
really
yeah, this death ball thingy. Yeah. Or it's just Nesca with really tight corners.
That it could be. Left turn. Left turn. He's doing another left turn.
Nesca is so much more than that.
Mm-hmm. You want to hear what it is more than
left
that?
turns.
Left turns! More left turns! That's what it is. And then, do they ever go the other way? Do they ever do right turns?
They do.
Can the cars turn right?
They do street racing, but obviously they have to have a completely different chassis.
No, but I mean on the course, do they ever just say we'll do it the other way today?
No. They
can only go to the left?
Yeah, because their chassis is set up like that. It's slightly hanging, right? Since they always have the banking. So the car is not really going straight. So and when they go for street circuits, then they need to change all of that, the whole alignment and everything, just to get that car to actually turn right as well.
So what would happen, and I'm sorry we're not talking PUBG right now, but it's a very center circle and nobody's really doing a lot of rotating right now. But what would happen if you just put like a left turn car on a right, the other way around course?
I would assume that
just
first time you try to steer into that banking, yeah, the car would just go off in the wrong direction.
Yep, that's like
just lets it go. Man, that's still a good van. You can't just leave it like that.
That is approximately. This is most likely what would happen if you took a NASCAR and drove it the other way around.
I just now wait for the guy that's shooting at it like yesterday. You remember when that car was aimlessly just rolling around and people were shooting at it because they thought someone is in there?
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Oh, Einkel is down there at the bridge.
Yeah.
GBL is not close enough yet, though. He's probably also joining the rest of his squad over to the west. BRC, once again, in their Montenuevo spot. You said that now with the more, let's say, fair plane. They actually finally got their loot spot.
Yeah, it's one of the
normal one.
2 games today, they've actually gotten some loot up there. So now they do get to go there. Singularity, they're going to do a little bit of a split here. It's a scary split, and I'm sure it's only Circle 1, but arguably they're taking 2. Well, you can say of the better center spots in this circle, and we've seen it before. I mean, especially with the point system here that's so kill-heavy. If any team realizes you're just 2 guys in whatever spot you're sitting in, even though it's early game and we say, oh, teams should be fighting early, some teams, they do it anyway, and they'll just crash 4 guys on towards you, and then it's a really tough task, 2v4, to hold off those pushes. So whenever you do decide to split 2-2, at least in this area... Oh, I see where we're going right now. I see where we're going.
It must be Hulk Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep. Oh, you passed it.
Oh.
All right. Hulk Jesus not happening.
No, he's not satisfied with that. He's going to give us a hard shift next. Oh, Jesus, man. He's not going to let that one go easy.
I think so.
You got to stop. You got to appreciate, man. You got to stop and appreciate Hulk Jesus. You're going to just fly past him as if it's not even there.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of disrespectful.
That's kind of BM.
At least the Pokemon is back.
Pokemon.
What else should it be?
Ice Cubemon.
Ice Cubemon, so it's Digimon.
Oh, Ice Digimon.
Ice, whatever.
Yep.
Someone in the chat will figure out.
Something Mon.
Something Mon.
Something Mon. Yeah.
Dan it also created a new situation for him. He actually dropped Norin on the side of Malvina's Gaming.
We talked about this. When they realized you're in a split, they will aggress on it. And Malvinas, they pulled up on the compound. Sure, they lost 1 player, but how much more is FLKS going to get from this? Nothing. They realized it immediately. They called it. There's 1 player here. Let's crash on him. They did, and it worked out perfectly. Perfectly. They lost 1 player, but they still managed to get the compound.
But did they... Wasn't it just a drop?
A drop?
It was not a kill.
No, they lost the player. He got flushed.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I totally missed that.
Yeah, Furious got the finish.
I'm sorry, BLT. They found themselves a beautiful compound. Look, they could actually live there. It's enough space for everyone. They got garages for the cars. They got 4 cars, typically German family, basically. And
They
maybe
drive
not 2
pickup
trucks.
trucks and
Nah,
Mirados.
nah. I mean, we got pickup trucks in Germany, but as soon as an American sees the pickup trucks in Germany, he's probably start laughing.
That's not a Dodge Ram.
Yeah, that's not a truck. That is like a shopping cart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, having lived in the Midwest, I've seen a lot of pickup trucks. That's
Did it come? Can you order them stand up with a machine gun on the back already?
Maybe. I don't. We didn't have
Never
them
checked.
where I lived. No. The good thing is that whenever there's a lot of snow coming, you know how normally you pay the government to have like the plow things. They
Yeah.
just put them in the front of all their cars. And
Yeah,
drive
I
around
saw
with them.
that. That looked pretty impressive, I have
Yeah,
to say.
they don't need that service. They just always do it themselves.
DT Zora was actually looking for service in terms of connection with shots, but didn't happen.
Is that a thing you can get better service? I would like to get some better connection with my bullets. Is that a thing that you can get? Does that depend on your weapon provider? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a bit like your mobile phone, right? If you have a better
Exactly.
provider, you got better service and better connection.
You have better aim, you get better kills too, and that's going to be one right on the money. Costas goes down to half HP as well. Lauren almost had the second one too, and it's actually going to get the finish off to an R. I mean, Ray, we haven't really seen a whole lot from them this tournament so far. Espada de Rey.
Do. D-O, not D-E. Is that every single time I'm reading this, I'm not sure. Dore.
Espada de Rey.
You said
Espada de Rey. Okay, you know what, I'm sorry.
Let me call you
But
out
Roger
now.
Rao and company, they're getting kills in here, and they. I mean, it's never too late. There's another 6 games to play tomorrow.
But it's below 10 minutes, and we saw 2 bigger fights already.
Yeah, we've
Seems a bit early for
lost
me.
5 players so far, and with this center circle, of course, if the next one, you can see the edges right now. I mean, you can pretty much take a kilometer around all the edges, and it's only Furia and Ray we run into in all of that. Everyone else have already found their way center. So if this next circle hard shifts anywhere, you'll most likely see the teams go around on either side to get in from the opposite side. Because everyone knows at this point, all teams are center. We want to go around the edges, and now we do get a little bit of Hulk Jesus before the next circle pops. So maybe he'll be nice on us this time around.
I just want the circle to be right dead center. Dead center. Come on. Dead center. Nearly. All right.
Center as can be.
Black Dragons, they found Puck B. And Hypo
fighting
already
early
out.
game
That was
again.
pretty quick. Heino is further away. He's down the street, basically.
Yeah, Hano and
Yeah.
Do, they're miles off, and there's not going to be a
Seems like
rescue mission here.
they left Hypo there to die.
Yeah.
Basically, you said Furia. They're now rotating just around the circle there. We see a
Crusaders
bit
are
of
coming
movement
up
from
here too.
everyone.
Crusaders are rolling up on it.
We're running up the hill.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. Rusty Zero. Is he? No, he's not all alone. Okay, the
he
rest
has
of
the
the
guys
squad
there.
is on the other side. Yeah, but Puck B is also going for this compound. Now, it will be interesting if both teams kind of commit to this.
Yeah, there are very few compounds to play around this area of the map. Power Grid being one of them, but it's also a huge one, so it's hard to hold for yourself. Slizzle spotted out. Ragnar,
got away,
Herald,
though.
and Ernst, they're coming around the corner. But do they want to commit to this or not? Doesn't seem like it.
Just love how he does hill climb with his muscle car.
That's
and
how they
Swag
work
is trying everything, but not gonna work. Low kicks got knocked by Noah, so that's Boss Esports
Yeah.
trying to make up for what happened in Game 4.
Seems like Boss spotted him out from a distance. Rest will be coming in, but at the cost of vehicle tires. They're expensive. You can see how many of them they got stacked up on in front of the house. Unfortunately, you cannot put them on.
That will be a great addition to the
I'm
game.
pretty
though.
sure that's. I've heard some data mining leaks that maybe someday that could be a thing where you can fix cars. Couldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it's like you could just put it in your inventory, even if
Extra tires.
Yeah, it's a bit like you know
You
the
cannot
old,
carry anything else.
you know the old Monkey Island games.
That is a long time ago.
Yeah,
right?
and
That
at
is a
one
long
point
time ago.
in I'm older than you, know. I'm above 30, and in one of the games you can actually
Doesn't
take
make
the
this
dock
is the game in
and
general.
put it in your inventory. So
Yeah.
if that works back then tires in
Yeah,
PUBG
that
shouldn't be an
that
issue.
should be possible. That should be possible. Circle though, center as we said just before, everyone's in. So that's all good fun. One big issue here is that from Hacienda, a little road goes down to Picado. And that road itself is not really that harmful. It's just a road after all. But the spread that it makes from the west to the eastern side does tend to become a quite deadly one. If you go from the west to the east, you have to pretty much roll your way down the hill if you try to take a vehicle with you, and then you'll be upside down by the time you hit the road. And if you go from the east to the west, you'll be going up a steep, steep hill, and odds are you'll have to make the run for the most of the part, because not only are the guys on the other side shooting at you, but the guys that are rotating with you are also trying to kill you at the same time. It's like a death race, but with turrets shooting at you too.
Interesting to see that nearly all the teams are kind of taking shots right now, but it's not. Nothing is happening. I mean, the kill tracker showed us nothing, no kill feed at all, while everyone nearly was shooting.
And I can argue that it's probably because a solid 90% of these players right now have their map open, and they're saying, guys, what do we do with this next circle? Because the guys that are on the west are saying, what do we do if this one goes east? And the guys that are on the east are saying, what do we do if this one goes west? You have to make a plan, and you have to be ready to execute it immediately. Because once this circle pops, people are going to move. And honestly, we see it so many times where it's just like 2-3 seconds difference. Whatever team gets to that compound first, if you're out, by the time the other guy hits the wall with the car and you're already starting to shoot, you will win that fight. And well, it's not guaranteed, but this one just shifted back out east.
Now that will be a problem now for BRC and PUBG.
Oh yeah, they have to make it south. They have to go south.
They still. It seems like BRC was already set up to leave, and that was way quicker than PUBG. But they might run into BLT or in STDC because that's where they are rotating over now.
You see Crusaders, they're immediately rotating south, and it's a smart play. The only thing is, on the southern side, you have a huge crater that's kind of blocking off the entrance to the circle. On the northern side, you have a huge uphill push that's going to make it really hard as well. But they're deciding to go for the eastern play. I like this, and I like the immediate reaction as well. As soon as that circle popped, boom, they're already in the vehicles making that rotation. And they could potentially be beating teams to it.
Yeah,
nice reaction play.
They were leaving that compound with PUBG earlier already. And Low Kicks now, he drops mini FPS from Boss Esports. After a kind of quick start into Game 5 with 2 big fights, it now calmed down a lot, which means the last minutes will be even crazier.
It's going to be...
Because everyone's still alive.
It's going to be... I mean, that's the thing, right? And people tend to say, oh, but there's no kills, it's so boring. We're just postponing the inevitable. Everybody will die. Don't worry. The more quiet, the more the chaos.
Yeah, but not everyone will die.
Everyone will die.
No.
One day.
Yeah, one day. Not today, though.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about in general.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Everyone but 1 to 4 players will most likely end up dying this game. And we'll see who it's going to be in just about 10 to 15 minutes' time. Crusaders, they're playing it safe. They rotated over to the compound. They got here so far, but now they're starting to hear shots, and they're realizing we cannot just continue rotating with vehicles because we are now in the presence of enemy fire.
Yeah, but Furious, I think they're getting shot from both sides.
They are.
They got shot from Ray, and they also get shot from down there. That's STDC. Yep.
They're accelerating pretty much.
While Black Dragons, I think they knocked this one player. It's a bit late with reading that. PG on the other side, they're at least all alone. But look at Black Dragons. They sit on top of this, but they have Furia just across that dusty strait.
You can see H11 down there. He's been spotted now on BLT. They're trying to push underneath. I like this push from...
the monkeys are coming up there.
Yeah,
Look,
it's a
the
smart
space
play.
monkeys.
Space monkeys, they're up there as well. And I mean, honestly, if this circle goes east, and if it goes west as well, whatever team is caught on the wrong side at this point, because it's so condensed with teams now, whichever teams are caught on the wrong side here, I'm not seeing anyone be able to cross over.
Interesting, though, that BRC was able to find an entry into the circle without losing a single player.
Yeah.
Bolita gets dropped by DD Zor, and it seems like Relance is also getting another FK player. He does. Mufasa had to be on his knees now, praying for a teammate to pick him up.
Got
Where's the circle?
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, another 3.
Where are you going?
Oh, that was good. Look at Vinny actually dropped Relance. That was quick. All right, where's the circle?
Is going south. It's on the eastern side. So for Black Dragons, for Space Monkeys, for PUBG, and for Furia, good luck, boys. You're going to need it. There's already, at this point, pretty much no areas available there. There are a few, but how in the universe do you get to them? You have so many players to run through. You can see Ribox now. He's going to make that, or Ribbo, he's going to make the initial drive on off. It's going to be a tough run. We don't have PUBG eliminated just yet. That's a bait from the game. And you can see Ribbo, he's like, where do I stop here in the middle of the open? Yeah, I guess I'm not getting shot at right now, right? So that's got to be something.
How did you know that PUBG wasn't?
Because we already eliminated, like I see one team got eliminated. I'm that smart.
And that wasn't.
We already lost one team. I know it's a mistake. I mean, it's a bug that happens sometimes. We already have Malvinas eliminated, and there's still 15 teams.
Okay, you got me there. Unfortunately, I really
That's what
don't
I'm here to
know.
do.
Yeah, you're brilliant when it comes to that, man.
Yeah.
You're my Wikipedia of bugs.
Of bugs. A bug's life. Some might argue. That's me. I'm the big bird that eats people. So,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, back to the pigeon simulator we had yesterday. Black Dragons Esport H11 Junior is on the way. Poma is under a bit of pressure here by the FK team.
bit?
He's right. Yeah, he's next to a burning card. It seems like none of his teammates can help him out there. That will be a huge loss for Singularity. Low kicks is close, at least it seems like that, but are they able to get close to Poma?
Everybody is either driving or shooting right now. Nobody's standing still. This is a huge, huge scuffle for these guys that are on the right side trying to hold off the people on the wrong. FLG gets himself a finish off, gets the second one in there as well.
Singularity
so that
uses-
is going to be Bitloft eliminated now.
Yeah, and Singularity also, they lost low kicks, they lost Punda, so they're down to 2. The Space Monkeys out
We
now. As we said,
talked it.
we were just waiting for hell to break loose, and that's exactly what we're getting right now. But seeing Bitloft and half of Singularity being out, that was not what we were in for.
Once this circle committed to one side, we knew it was going to be a heavy push from the other side to make it on over, and it was simply too much. It made the cup flip over, and it's forced the chaos to run in through the veins of all these players. Furia, they somehow made it across. I'm not sure exactly how. They came in from the southern side. And Chuck Pira, unfortunately, still on the wrong side, caught in a shack, but he does have his teammates trying to make their way on forward. Pum has gone down now as well, so I believe it's just one player remaining for Singularity, and we talked about how they got a good win and they needed to get something off that, kind of get things going, but doesn't seem like this is the game.
Still a long way to even get into placement points, but I like Fury. As we said, they're quick on their feet, they're great when it comes to rotating and taking decisions, and they actually managed. They came from over the side, from the hill, over the street. They did so. They're there. They're set. And let's see if they can have an impact, though. And the FPS finds RDS, but then GBL makes sure with a grenade to take revenge for his teammate, while Chikitin finds Swag.
The Brazilian national war, Brazilian civil war is on our hands, and who will come out strong? Roger gets a good headshot, and followed by a body shot on towards Psychopada. So some damage being applied there. It's all just Andy and Raspulev remaining. How can they hold off the teams currently pushing on down towards them?
We see now the kill feed's not stopping. It's constantly that something happens. Rusty Zero falls to Lauren Sit. Covert falls to Got Zero. That's another
Just
4 teams
itself.
being in a fight. Balita, look how close he is to Vinny FPS. Balita just needs to get over that wall, but he can't get a shot off because as soon as he tries to climb over it, Vinny gets him, but Vinny jumps first, and that gives Balita the chance for another drop, and that grenade will probably end the life of Vinny.
Yeah, every single point you can get here, you want to get. There you go, the finish off should be coming in just a short moment. Balita gets some boosters on up, should be able to stay put for now. The nade comes over towards him, bounces off the wall, and it's going to take him out too. Holy cow, Got Zero and nades. Name a better freaking duo here.
And with that, FK team is also eliminated. That was a quick one there. Balita behind the wall and another teammate a bit further down. But after that loss of their teammate, they obviously knew where Balita was, and then it was easier for them to flush him out. The Mechanica. Why did I lose that one? That was flawless
I was going to say, we said it all day yesterday.
We said it all day.
Did you say mechanic? And put an A to it.
Mechanica.
Yeah.
Mechanica.
You're a car guy. Mechanic. That should be
Chuck
in there.
Pyra finds a runner from PG. It's another kill for Furia.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're on a good way once again, up to 3 kills now.
Important finish off coming in as well, because it needs to make some room to cross over here.
Look at Black Dragon 7, Boss Esports 7.
They're all there.
Yeah.
They're all up
A
there
lot
in
of
the
points
kills.
they're racking up there. Oh, Chuck Pyra finds himself a lot of crossfire coming over.
This is a huge push from Chuck Pira as well, because he might... Oh no, he gets knocked! Oh, he had 2 knocked guys inside that shack. Had he been able to get in there, that could have been them being back to 4 guys alive. But nope, not the case. Pems from the other side comes in and gets the knock on towards him.
Yeah, might be the end instead.
Well, they're all
Well,
going down
Noah
low and
falls.
just going to shoot them all.
He doesn't know yet that they all knocked, though.
One. Nope.
Not getting him. Yeah, give it
That's
another try. Give it another
nope.
try.
That's one. There we go.
It took a while, though.
That's 2. And
Go for it.
like the pre-fire. Really like the pre-fire, actually.
Finally, Furious Gaming is also eliminated, and Furia should also be eliminated. No, Furious
Fury is still alive. They got one player left. They got Yakwin.
You're right.
Still up on his feet, trying to stay put here. Burke Trying to come up the hill. It's not going to be an easy push. Oh my lord, down to just 1 HP. GOD0 does go down. That's going to be Bus eliminated despite them getting a few kills. Make that 7 kills their way. Not a few, quite a bit actually. They do end up going out just short of placements. Wow, Swag.
And Swag now has obviously the upper hand coming around. There's Berg, but Berg is so low on health already. Swag just needs to have a look now. But Berg's moving quickly up the hill. Look at that. He's trying to push. He can flush him first. Yeah, that's another kill. And then onto Berg. But so far, they kind of lost him, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing with this area of the map. There's so many dips and divots all over the place, and you just cannot overcommit. You see Rafa right now healing up. Swag needs to wait for this. They have to push this one together. Once again, the Brazilian civil war takes to the field, and one knock comes in towards Andy. You're right over there? You surviving?
I've got my own pop.
You're coughing in my
water.
microphone now, yeah?
Battle Royale with water. That's what I'm doing. Swag finds one. Reliance, his teammate helps. Oh, no, that's not even his teammate. Now I get everything wrong. Kind of got caught off guard here. A lot of grenades in Swag's direction, but they find Rafa instead. Swag needs to turn around, but Nibel
he has
just
no
behind
idea
him.
what's going on around
He
him.
wasn't aware of that at all.
Absolutely no clue where to look there. Logan does spot out Kassin. Kassin is alive for now, but not inside that next circle, and that should be them most likely able to just pin him down. He's trying to run further, but where, oh, where are you gonna go here, buddy? You're just running through the field into the open and further
At least there are some ditches and small hills where
and
you can,
honestly, he just got 2 placement points off of it, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're down to 6 teams already.
Ribbo.
Oh, come on,
He
Ribbo.
sees him. Just 1 point so
Oh,
far.
he knows that X6 is also next to him. He
Yeah.
wants to make sure that he's dead last.
He's rotating with the guys, you know?
Yep.
He's part of the team now.
I mean, that
They
wouldn't be
have
the
no
first
clue.
time that it works.
They have
Wouldn't
no
be the first
clue.
team.
No?
It's like just acting like you're part of them.
They have absolutely 0 clue that Ribbo is running right behind
Yeah,
them.
but he might miss one of those guys now. And then we'll get... Especially with
man.
Letty looking there. Look,
Yeah, he's
Letty's
looking
basically
for it.
looking in that direction. Oh, yeah, Ribbo will come across the ledge now.
The amount of
No!
placement points he's grinding off of this, he just made it into the top 4.
Yeah, and Letty turned around now. That means there's no one able to spot Ribbo.
Ribbo is not inside the circle, though, so it's all going to come down to where even Cito and XX stop moving. If they sit around on the bottom, he has to make his way all the way out to the east.
The bets. How high are the chances? What are the odds that Singularity wins because Ribbo is just following them?
I mean, Mechanica almost lost a 4v1 against Singularity yesterday.
Yep.
But then you have Prone Tag.
Ribbo didn't have his highlight moment yet. That could be his chance, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's against the odds with them having the high ground as well, and him most likely not having any utility if he had 0 first aids too.
But he's still alive, and he's still behind Mechanica.
That is true. He's proning down there, doing everything he can to not be visible to anyone. The thing is, there are still 2 4-man alive teams left remaining. And
Yeah, it's too early for him to get involved.
Yeah, if he can have the Giants kind of take to the field against one another, and he can just prone alongside the ridge. You can see he has a bit of a ridge line down there that he can prone by, and he can prone all the way down the road down to around the middle point, at which he would technically be inside the circle.
Yeah, he touches barely that circle down there. If he would go along the street that you see there,
Not gonna be easy though.
the problem is, as soon as Mechanica is in the top 3, he needs to actually get on their position because he might get them as enemy if he would stay alive that long. And it would be better to be behind them right away before they start looking around, searching for him, because then he will probably be picked off fairly easily.
The only thing is right now, I mean, if they go out now, they're going to get 5 points this game, right? That's going to be a total of 11. That's going to be a total of 30 points today across 5 games. Overall, that's pretty good. But when you take into account that 3 of those games have been 0 to 1 point games, that is just not good.
Mechanica adds another kill to them. Logan falls, and he's still there. A small ditch, waiting. This is now all about who lifts his hat above the desert first.
Also,
they're
if you're
moving up.
Mechanica, do you know that there's a full 4-man team left remaining, or is just sitting around looking for snakes right now?
Yeah, that's a big question. I mean, Reliance and Junkosh is still in there, and we know that he can make some stuff happen. DT Zor seems like he tries to rotate down. Ribbo decided to not use the strategy you proposed.
It makes sense too.
Yeah, instead he's following Mechanica. Like I said, if he thinks Mechanica will be the last team alive, then this is the smarter move.
He knows that there's at least 3 players up here, right? And the thing is that he is Like, he's anticipating another team to clear that side. If he had continued pushing down, he would find himself in between 2 4-man teams.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Stay on the... Like, if you have a team in front of you, just use them as your bait. Like, use them as your wall, kind of, and then let them clear whatever is ahead of you, as long as you stay far enough behind that you won't get spotted. Because there's no reason whatsoever for Mechanicas at this point to look behind them. There's absolutely no reason for them to sit and say, oh, I wonder if a player is behind us, because they just made that run up here, and, I mean, there's just no way. So that's going to be a safe position for now, at least, for Ribbo.
It will be interesting to see how that plays out. We still got 4 teams left here on our last game of the day. It's Pronet, it's Mechanica, our PG is still with us, and Ribbo, another solo, just like PG, for Singularity.
2 solos and 2 4-man stacks.
I like that setup. I think that's a good
But the
one
thing
for
is,
our
they
last
both,
circle.
I mean, both these 2 4-man teams have got to know that there's too many players. Like, either it's 2 4-man teams and a duo, or it's 2 4-man teams and 2 solos, right? They've got to be like, where the hell are these guys kind of laying around doing nothing?
Yeah, Nabel, he didn't move for quite a while now. He's obviously also waiting for the big teams to start a fight first, so that he maybe gets into the top 3. But Pronet, they are too far away for now from Mechanicas. They see each other, but they're not committing to a real line of fire and getting involved in this.
Yeah.
And look at this. It's not that far away. It's just not the right positioning to start that fight. And Ribbo, he now has to crawl up that hill.
He is not going to be doing anything. The thing is, he can't just crawl. He needs to get up on his feet and move. He is right now moving kind of with the speed of the circle. So whenever he gets up to this next dip, you can see it right where he is now. He can then prone, and he should be safe from the other ankle. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. Don't only shoot when seen for sure. He has to prone it right here. He's inside the circle.
Yeah, I was wondering if he should lay down here, like lay low.
Like, not right here, because whenever they turn around and run, that's going to be them spotting him. But he needs to just do everything he can to not be seen.
Just imagine how you feel right now.
The trigger discipline on this guy right now.
You're
He's
sitting
only
there.
playing with his left hand. He's only, his hand is not even on the mouse right now.
Oh, there's evens. Okay. He's coming
Prone,
up.
prone, Ribbo, prone.
Blue is hitting you.
Ow.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Look.
Do they even
Pumps.
realize now,
Took a
even if
pumps.
they see him, do they even
Realize that it's not
Ribbo?
part of it. If you would be dying
get-
to blue now, that would have been crazy.
Do they even realize that he's not even on their team?
No.
Like, if they see him as...
Oh, no, Letty knows. Letty knows. Yeah,
this shot's
all right.
fired. This shots gave it
think-
away.
No one.
Yes, prone tag. They shot over towards him, hit the ground 2 times in front of him,
and
they
they were
hit the
wondering.
ground, and they were like, "Why would they shoot there?" And then he looks around the corner, and there he is.
Yeah, because Letty was definitely looking for someone there.
And PG goes down right after. Had he stayed alive for 3 seconds longer, that would have been a 3rd. But instead, it becomes a 4th place. So only 5 points. All that effort, just 5 points in that
2
match for them.
squads are still alive though in the last
That
circle.
is very, very
8
rare thing to see.
people. Yeah.
And most importantly, and most hilariously, I guess we can say now for the end game of it,
Grenades,
the final point of this one is going to be right in the center. If we can do a flyover kind of overview of the whole terrain we're in, it's a very big open field. You can look at this one. It's just a big open dead man's land here.
Oh, but Evans is already trying to flank.
I like the idea. It's just,
Yeah.
even if you get up there, it's going to be
The problem
so
is there's not
difficult.
enough circle left. Look at this. As soon as
Exactly.
he pushes up,
You can't get
Necro
around
sees
that
him. Yeah,
side.
Junker
Yep.
sees him. There's just not enough circle to really
Letty and
move
DT.
around. Someone Letty falls to DD Zor. That was a quick one. It's now down to 3.
Even needs to
versus
make a move
4.
on it. Even needs to make a move on it. He needs to sort of buy some, or force them to focus over there. This
Prone.
could easily fall apart from Mechanica. Seems like Prone, they just have full control of this
Yeah,
one.
Junkers is pushing already. Pams, and that looks like they will take it, and they do so. Pronit, our
Slaughtered.
last winner of today. 9 kills and 10 placement points. You can be happy about that.
Gotta say, I mean, and as much as I respect the guys in Mechanica, they just, I mean, as well as they rotate, to me, I know they had that 14 kill win yesterday, I believe it was. They just do not strike me as a heavy-hitting team. And even if they do make it into the Grand Slam, some of the opponents that I know from both Europe, from North America as well, that are very fighting-based, I don't think they'll be allowed to have these types of rotations around them and make it into the late game that easily. It's gonna be that's gonna be their thing, because they have come late. I think that's the 2nd, 3rd place they've had, and they've also had a 3rd place where they could have had so many more kills. I mean, if we look at the comparison between Singularity and them, Fury and them as well, Bitloft as well, the way
more kills than that, yeah.
in placement points, they get there. It's amazing. But when it comes to the big leagues, when it comes to that grand final, if they do make it there in the top 2 spot, they need to start hitting these shots.
They did 4 kills in Game 5. They spread the 4 kills among all 4 people. That's a nice thing. But you're right, compared to the teams that
they need to
are
take more
mostly
control.
seen on the stream because they do something and they make things happen, and they got the kills, it's unlikely that's Mechanica, at least today.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them at all. The fact that they get to these late games positions is extremely impressive. But as we talked about earlier, you need to have that switch. You need to be able to go out and say, we cannot let them pin us in this corner.
Does that mean they're closer to Bitloft in terms of playstyle then? Because that's how I feel about
frag out
Bitloft.
when they have to.
When they really are forced to do so. But most of the game, they are more on the safe side, trying to be secure in getting into those like top 8, top 5, top 3.
But that's what you want to do. That I'm not taking away from them at all. But you saw, for example, with Singularity, they were playing that exact same style. But in the end, when they knew we have to make a play here, we cannot just sit around any longer, they came out full aggression style and got the kills. Here, they had a chance to push forward. They had the smokes, but they threw the smokes and they stayed back on the edge of the blue. They were spending so much time trying to walk away from the blue rather than take it to their opponents. Because had they been the ones pushing through the smokes there, there's no saying in what would have happened. You can see it like when we get there, if we get to see it in the highlight here, in just a short moment when the game comes to an end, they had the smoke sign up. They had the chance to push forward. They had Evancido on the right side to make that flank play. Sure, they lost one player early on, but they had the full push going forward. They just never committed to it.
If I would need to pick teams, like the one team of day 2 that strike me as the favorite, then if it's just about one card situation, it had to be Singularity because how they took the win in Game 4 was impressive. If it's across all 5 games, look
at the control. Yeah, look at the control here. They just completely fall behind.
Yeah.
Like they fall, but they stay in the corner.
They were pushed instead of pushing.
Had they taken it to them, they could have gone both ways.
But what I want to say is when it's across all 5 games today, I would give it to Furia.
Furia, they were fragging, for sure.
Yeah, they were fragging, they were rotating, they were walking, they were spotting, doing like gathering intel, using it, taking decisions, not hesitating, and moving around. Absolutely love that. And that's why I would say, like, in day 2, Furia Esports. That will be interesting to see tomorrow.
And even in the games where they didn't do well, they still got like at least 3 or 4 kills with them, right? So that's still points coming in. When you look at Singularity today, they've had now they got 5 points this game in total.
Yep.
And they had a 0-point game, a 1-point game, then they had a 6-point game early, and they had that win. So it means overall,
19-point, on the win.
Considering that you get a 19-point win, for them to only get 30 points on the day, that's 11 points in 4 games.
Compared to yesterday, that's not
11
nothing.
points in 4 games. Yeah. Considering, as I said there, considering how well they did yesterday, that is not at all living up to what they would have hoped for.
Still, it should be enough for them, I think, to still be in the lead. Wait, we had...
Yeah, because Bitlov went out a bit early.
Yeah, Furia went out early. Yeah, BLT went out early. So they might be lucky that instead of them building the gap, everyone else was so busy with changing positions behind them.
Yeah.
And like Furia really pushing on top and all that they're still there.
Well, they probably will be because everyone has been shuffling around below them, and the fight is still there, of course. There are 6 games. We've been 5 games yesterday, 5 games today, and then tomorrow it's going to be 6 games on the day. 3 on Erangel, 3 on Miramar to tie things up and figure out which 2 of these 16 teams will indeed be coming here right where we're sitting. It's probably, I don't think it's going to be executed in this studio.
Yeah,
I don't think we can fit 64 players in here. But it's going to be in Stockholm. It's going to be amazing. GLL, they have a really good track record of doing some insane PUBG events. So for those of you guys who make it here, it's going to be good. But let's see at exactly how that last game unfolded according to this scoreboard. ProTac, they got up there. They got themselves the win. They got themselves the kills, and they tied for the most on the day with a solid 19-kill win. Oh, 19-point win, sorry, make that.
Yeah, Piantao's Gaming behind them, 5 points from placements, but 8 in the kill department. We see Mechanica, they had the 4, we talked about that, but they slightly positioned themselves better with 6 points.
Yeah.
That's 10 in total, and then it goes down to 8-8-8 for Black Dragons, Espada Doré, and STDC.
And you see Furia here. even though it's a bad game, everything considered for them, they still got 3 points. If you take all the games where you get 0 or 1 point and you add a couple to it, it really starts racking up over the span of multiple games.
I mean, they did more than Singularity. Singularity is 4
exactly,
plus
they tied.
1.
They got more points than them.
Yeah,
Alpha
and
finished
that's 3
kills.
plus 3 for them.
Yeah, exactly. They got more things going their way.
Bitloff really threw that away. But like with the 0 points in Game 5, if they just had a decent round, they would be on top of
They
the
had that
now.
really, really rough rotation, and it was just, I mean, it was just chaos. I mean, Space Monkeys didn't even go out before that very last engagement, right? So, so just rough game. But in the end, we still see Singularity up in the top. Bitloff could have closed the gap in a little bit. Furia could have as well, but neither of them had a crazy showing there in the final game. And they'll be sitting tight at 95 points coming into the final day tomorrow. Still a bit of a gap down, but look at how close things are underneath.
I just love that it's only 1 point between Bitloff and Furia. I mean, yes, there's still a day coming, but if it would be the end today, then it's just 1 point between going to the Grand Slam and 1 point
you have
being
20 points from 8th place. We're talking a 10-point win here.
Yeah.
You have
and 9 kills seem to be
points,
kind of possible for many
20
teams.
points. I mean, you can get 9 kills in the last 2 minutes, right? In the last 40 seconds. You have 20 points from 8th to 2nd. This is going to be close. It's going to be insanely
It just tells us that there's absolutely no space tomorrow for teams to fail.
You have there's no
zeros.
room. Everybody, at this point, every single team on this entire set of 16, we talked about those 2-3 games you could have that were bad. They've all used them. And
Yes.
then you can argue, if they all have those games, does it then mean that you can have more now? I don't know. Then you just have to make that much more of the good games that you get. But honestly, to me, everybody, there's so much pressure on these guys now. You have to come out fragging. But the biggest surprise to me, and that's just off of them having done so well previously, 39 points in Brazilian Crusaders. That is not at all what I expected. But of course, still 6 games to go. It's going to be very tough for them to
I mean,
catch
6
up.
games means that there's 60 points that are still in, but it also means that we saw the team being down with 11 points, last position. That was... I had it in mind the whole time. Who was that? Space Monkeys. The Space Monkeys, they're kind of out because it's 95 points to Singularity.
Oh, there's no way now. No way
They're
now.
not getting less tomorrow. So that's probably the only team right now that's kind of like out of
I mean, you also
the
have all the
contest
kill
already.
points. But yeah, I mean, it's
You would
practically...
really need everyone else to fail, and you would need to kill
It's
everyone.
Tied 16th place for everyone, and we get all the kills.
Who knows?
It's not gonna
That would be
That would be the
story I would like
history.
to
That
see.
would be the esports history of the century, that's for sure. But guys, that is going to wrap up the entire day here. We do have, as we said before, a full day of games tomorrow, starting at well, the same time as today. I would assume 11 o'clock in our time, and
CEST.
7 o'clock for you guys over there. CEST exactly on our side of things. So do me a favor and make sure to be back here tomorrow, because yesterday was insane. Today was equally so. Yesterday was all the Wrangle. Today has all been Miramar, and tomorrow we get
See
the
both.
best of both. So do us a favor, come back tomorrow for the finish off and finding out which 2 teams will make it to the grand finals. See you tomorrow.